Away from Home Alone.
Yeah, how do you even do a missing child report not in your home thing?
Right, because essentially,
Your
aren't we
home
all
thing?
missing if we're
Like
on
city?
vacation?
We are technically.
Technically, we would all be alone.
We're not
From home. Well, yeah.
We're all the
Okay.
Eggnog is
that.
also known as milk punch.
I
That bothers
like
me a
that.
little bit.
Yeah, I
that
I'm
don't
not a fan of that.
actually like that.
I am
Have
not
you
a
had
fan
the
of
milk punch?
Actually, hold on. If I was at a Christmas party and someone's like, "You want some milk punch?" I'd at first be like, "I'm intrigued," but also, what the fuck?
Honestly,
is that?
now
Imagine finding out you had this multi-million-dollar gem necklace, and then she just goes, "Nah," throws it over the. You know how mad that person would be? Like this whole time, our whole life,
I was pulling doubles.
I was struggling, and we could have been making
I'm out here working 612.
right.
be like the amount that's in there and stuff. It shouldn't. But
Shouldn't
we're gonna
kill
go ahead
you?
and give you some Benadryl before.
It's always great when a doctor's like, "This shouldn't kill you."
Well, because my thing is like, if they don't want to just put it,
So
even
far,
as
so good.
even as
I hate to derail this, but every sip is different.
It is.
You get something different every.
Is it because it's so viscous that it's a different?
well, so I was gonna say it's probably
Does that have
it's
20 weight? What
It's
is that?
one. It's probably because all three things are a different consistency.
10W30. Welcome to the Decision Real Movie Review Podcast, where we try and fail to review movies of today and yesterday. Josh is already laughing.
That's great.
Is it the Nog?
No, it's the studio.
It's the
It's the
studio.
first time I'm in it.
I was gonna say,
And
You haven't been here.
Josh is here again.
yeah,
Again.
in a couple weeks.
It's been a
Are
bit.
you are you and Wally in like a rift though? Because like I
So
feel
low
like
key, I was like, I
you're
want
just avoiding
I was
each
like,
other,
I was like,
right?
we're never there. I think it's because we find it okay. We're like, okay, he bailed, I can bail. Like he's gonna be there, I can bail.
I got it. Yeah.
But it's not like that all the time. Like stuff does come up. Like I get it.
For sure,
Like,
yeah.
It's just, but it is convenient.
A little
how
convenient,
it happens. And I was
yeah.
like, I hope no one thinks that there's some type of beef because
Maybe.
there's none. I enjoy when he's here because he
Oh,
makes
for
me
sure.
laugh.
He does.
Like,
He makes everyone laugh. That
Yeah.
big burly man. I like it. Josh, though, you're here with a movie pick.
yeah.
Would you pick?
Only one of the best sequels, in my opinion, of all time.
Tara laughs, so she doesn't agree.
And
I think it's funny.
It's Home Alone 2.
Home Alone 2. He was Home Alone again,
He's Home Alone again.
but this time in
Not-
New York.
but
In a
not-
different state.
Yes.
Well, because like he's not home.
He's not home.
So would it be-
out of town alone?
I was gonna say, so how your vacation alone? No, your home
He doesn't. This is essentially a dream
away
vacation
from
for
home
adults.
alone.
He's MIA.
Away from home alone.
Yeah, how do you even do a missing child report not in your home thing?
Right, because essentially,
Your
aren't
home
we all
thing,
missing if we're
like
on
city?
vacation?
We are technically.
Technically, we would all be alone
We're not. We're not
from home. Well, yeah.
We're all alone.
We're all alone. Obviously, Tara's here with us as always. Thanks for bringing the Nog
The
again.
Nog.
It's Christmas time. Well, holiday season
In the city.
in the
I'm
city
not
of
gonna
New
try to
York.
sing.
The Nog. Can you explain to us, for the people at home, what kind of Nog this is and what you do to make it?
So technically,
If you want to give away your secrets.
the kind of nog, this nog is Turkey Hill. It doesn't technically. There are bad nogs and
Oh,
there
it's
are
thick.
good nogs. This one's not. This one's not a bad one, but there are other brands that are fine. The brand doesn't matter as much. I put rum chata and Fireball in my nog. Both.
That's the cinnamon taste
That's
I'm
the
getting.
cinnamon.
Yeah.
Yep. Because
is the cinnamon.
what's
The
if
cinnamon.
you just do Fireball, it's not like it's bad,
But
it's sharper. But when you do the rum chata, even though there's still cinnamon in that, the rum chata is the creamier
Takes the edge off.
consistency, so it kind of like balances it.
Okay.
Eggnog is also known as milk punch.
I
That
don't
bothers
like
me a little
that.
bit.
Yeah, I
that-
I'm
don't-
not a fan of
I
that.
actually like that.
I am
Have
not
you
a
had
fan
the
of
milk punch?
Actually, hold on. If I was at a Christmas party and someone's like, "You want some milk punch?" I'd at first be like, I'm intrigued, but also, what the fuck
Honestly,
is that?
now knowing that it means eggnog, though, I'm not. It wouldn't bother me as much.
But if you don't know what
But if
it
I
is,
didn't know and someone was like, "Do you want some of the egg?" Actually, the other one is worse. Egg milk punch.
egg
Egg
milk
milk
punch.
punch is
Ooh,
worse.
that's
Yeah.
that's
That's
disgusting.
worse for sure.
It's like essentially, it's just like coffee creamer, is what we're drinking. It's like egg yolk, sugar, milk, heavy cream.
You're right.
A vanilla extract.
Yeah, so it's like essentially coffee creamer. You're just like, hey, cut the coffee. I just want the creamer.
What's that meme? He's out of line, but he's absolutely right. Oh Jesus!
It's like Irish coffee without the. We're having an Irish.
We're having an
Are
Irish
all
punch.
of those things in
I think that might be something else. What?
Creamer?
I mean, I would assume definitely heavy milk or heavy cream, sugar, probably not egg. But
So
maybe
then that's what makes it.
eggnog.
I mean, you have the bottle in front of you. I'm pretty sure it shows the ingredients.
Milk punch. I can't get over milk punch.
Yeah, that's what it is from now on.
I mean,
it ain't no
but
eggnog,
this
it's
we know
milk.
we know the ingredients of this because we looked it up. I was saying to compare it to creamer.
Oh, coffee creamer. I'm sure there's different types of coffee creamer that have different ingredients. If I was a betting man.
This one it's specifically non-fat milk. I don't know if that makes a difference, but
Sometimes like a little. Are you drinking non-fat because you think you need to lose?
this also
because you
says
don't.
Because you don't.
this also says there's nutmeg in this one.
Well,
I knew I could taste the nutmeg.
I could too. I know I'm allergic. I'm going to die.
Oh,
I'm not. I'm feeling a little scratchy. I don't know why.
Sweating, or is it just me?
What was Hitch when he like looks at himself in the mirror? He's like, oh my God.
She's like, are you allergic
like
to fish? He's
I like how he just keeps going as he's trying to talk. And
that's
there's
so
like,
real.
You good, man?
He was not good.
He was not good. He was not good. Carrick, the roommate, he
roommate.
said he's allergic to seafood
Okay.
and like shellfish and iodine, like
Like
all
dead- like deadly?
the whole thing. So, but
Maybe.
when he was living in California, there was when he was in the military, when he was still in the Navy and he was stationed in San Diego, there was a place that
In
him
the
and some of the
Navy.
guys like to go that did, I guess, they served really good fish tacos.
Oh,
and
I
he
like
would
a
not
good fish
get them.
taco, huh?
He would not get them, but he ended up finding out later, because he ended up looking like Hitch, that the French fries
he
were
is, in
cooked in the
fact.
same.
No cross contamination.
Yes, and so he was like on his motorcycle on his way back to the base or his apartment or wherever he was, and he said he started getting like could feel it under his helmet, and he said he stopped and was like full on like everything swelling up, and I was like, well, that's good that you didn't die though. He said, well, I had a choice. I could stop,
Right.
and it could get worse, like it could have gone worse, blah blah blah, or I could have tried to make it home, and
Pass out.
I had to make a
Stop breathing.
decision, yeah,
Right,
on
'cause
whether
your
I tried to make
airways
it,
are-
yeah.
They close.
Yeah, they
But
close.
but he was
You're
like,
done
but if
for
I
business.
stopped and I took Benadryl or something,
Yeah.
that could have affected me on my ride and stuff too, depending on the level of
I guess.
what I took.
They do say not to use heavy equipment if
Exactly.
you're drinking Benadryl.
Exactly. And Hitch puts the straw in it and he's just walking around with the bottle full on. I was like, why are you still drinking it? Like
I didn't
you
know-
didn't need to keep drinking it, I feel
Hey
like,
man,
right?
it felt right.
A little.
That was one of the best
Can't
parts of
fuss
that.
with the tongue.
That was one
Right.
of the best parts of that movie
It
when
is.
they're walking through the park while he's drinking the Benadryl.
The Tussin.
Was it Robitussin?
No, it
I
was
thought
Benadryl.
oh,
That was just a joke.
I've never had liquid Benadryl.
Me either. And I didn't know that Benadryl
you-
makes people sleepy.
Can you like hook it up like an IV? Think it would work better?
You might. I might be a little.
If you want the swelling to go down immediately, put it right in the bloodstream.
When he's had to get like the scans because you have to drink that
That's gross. Yeah.
concentrated iodine or whatever for the scans, they've given him just in case because they're like it shouldn't be enough.
Is it
to
called
cause,
just in case?
And then no, they've given
Oh.
like
The way
they've
you said it
given him
sounded like-
Benadryl. No, I'm saying they've given him Benadryl when he's had because he's allergic to iodine. So they've
Yeah.
given him Benadryl when he's had to drink that because they're like it shouldn't be like the same that the amount that's in there and stuff. It shouldn't. But
Shouldn't
we're gonna
kill
go ahead
you.
and give you some Benadryl before.
It's always great when a doctor's like, "This shouldn't kill you."
Well, because my thing is like if they don't want to just put it,
So far, so good.
even just put it on him, like when they used to. I don't think they use it as much anymore, maybe. But when they would use the iodine before they would cut you and stuff.
I got you.
Like
They-
on your, I'm like, if you don't want to use that when he's in surgery, do you think? I don't feel like drinking it sounds worse.
Put it in the bloodstream.
Drinking a like concentrated iodine concoction sounds worse. That sounds you're putting directly to the system.
Right. The doctors look at each other. Can't believe he's not dead yet.
But I don't know because I'm not medically trained. I don't know anything about that
I
stuff.
hate to derail this, but every sip is different.
It is.
You get something different every.
Is it because it's so viscous that it's a different?
Well, so I was gonna say it's probably
Does that
it's,
20 weight? What
It's
is that?
one. It's probably because all three things are a different consistency.
10W30 is what it is.
But all three things are a different consistency.
Yeah, you're right.
Like the eggnog is thicker than the rum chata, but the rum chata is obviously thicker than the
So
fireball.
if we let this sit, it's gonna be 3 different.
I've never
liquids.
seen that happen.
It could.
We
not
could-
to mention the ice. The ice is in there, so it's
the
like
ice is something
constantly,
else.
like mixing.
Hey, so we are a movie review podcast here.
I'm on too. That was so fast.
And what we try to do here is talk about movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do.
We try to review them. I think we don't really review them though. If you go back and
We do that.
I mean, we kind of
We take the long way around.
if you want to, if you
The
okay.
reviews are in there.
If you want to fast track yourself, there's 2 ways to do it. Number 1, you could listen to the entire, or not listen to the review, just go to the end where we actually give our final decisions. Right. The second way is you can go to our website, which is www.thedecisionreel, and find all of our past reviews there, as well as if you want to listen to or watch any past episodes you can. You see that segue? That's how you segue.
And it's nice.
Yeah. Anyway, segueing back to what we're actually here to do, talk about
Eggnog.
eggnog. Well, I mean,
that made me laugh
does
way
Kevin
too hard.
does Kevin drink eggnog in this movie? Does somebody drink eggnog in this movie?
I don't know. I know he has a
Why
cheese
do I
pizza.
feel like in the first one someone does?
Frank definitely is drinking eggnog.
Well, so in the beginning, when
Frank,
when they lose
first
the
one.
they lose
And then the
his
second one, I
ticket,
feel
isn't that
like-
all eggnog spilling on, or is it just milk? No, it's
I
gotta
think
be
it's
eggnog.
milk. But no, because he's
No,
trying to
it's
make a bowl
milk.
of cereal.
It's milk.
Right.
Yeah.
This man knowing his stuff. Anyways, Home Alone 2, the plot. Kevin is separated from his family again when he accidentally boards a flight to New York City during a Christmas trip to Miami. However, he crosses paths with the same burglars who now plan to rob toy stores on Christmas Eve. What are the chances?
Honestly,
What are the
there's so many things problematic about this plot, though.
Go on.
Like
I was gonna say there's no plot holes, but I
the
want to
fact.
know.
Okay, the fact that this happened again.
Is this the second
Well, this
year?
is different. They
No,
at least
it's the
didn't
following
leave him.
year.
That's what I'm saying,
It's
yeah.
the very next year because they said last year multiple
They didn't
times.
leave him at home. It's just he fumbled because he was so worried about the batteries. Which, when you look back, being a kid, you're like, when you're hyper fixated on like, hey, I
Yeah.
want my fucking thing to work.
Yeah.
It's very easy.
The other thing too, though, is as a mom, they have 5 kids.
Yeah,
Not
too
to mention the cousins and stuff that are with them.
Too many.
But so when they're getting on the plane and she's standing there letting them go, and they're like, "Ma'am, we've got it. You can get on." I'm sorry, there's no way a mom's getting on that plane. Like,
Without her.
and she thought about it for a second, and then she was like, "Okay," and got on. Had she stayed there, movie doesn't happen.
Right.
You know, like she would have noticed we're missing a child.
So dream parent scenario, you have one that goes on to help get the kids to sit down, and then your mom's at the gate, like,
Not to mention, there's an aunt and uncle
Filing.
with them.
I mean,
Like there are
you
more.
really
There's more
can't-
than one adult.
You really can't count for.
And Buzz, what's his name?
Buzz.
Buzz is obviously old enough to help. I mean, he's a prick, so he's not going to. But he's
Right.
old enough to help.
I think we can say at this I think we can say at this point they're just terrible parents.
But you know what? It's not just the parents.
Can we-
It's
It's-
adults in this movie in general.
But
It's
can we
a
discuss
terrible
this?
family who doesn't care about one person.
But in the movie,
Kevin!
Mr. and Mrs. McCallister
Yeah.
are 37 and 38 years old.
Yeah.
That's us.
I wouldn't care.
So if
Yeah.
you've got 5 kids,
It's a lot.
yeah.
Plus everything else that's going on.
And
Plus,
we're-
I'm sure
and
they're
we're the
stressed
kidless
at
ones
work.
here talking about this.
Right.
Look at these jackasses.
Fucking parents don't know what they're
They don't know
doing.
what's going on.
As we're sitting here with like, so my dog the other
Yeah.
day.
Meanwhile,
was
can I
like-
carry my dog on the plane? Can you just sit? I got him a seat.
I got him a seat.
But we like my thing though is there are more adults in this movie than in the first one, because in the first one essentially everything is happening at the house.
Yes.
So he encounters the robbers,
Yeah.
the burglars, but also maybe like a mailman and stuff and
Pizza
a
delivery
cop
guy,
at one
yeah.
point. But in this movie,
Not even a real cop.
he encounters so many other adults.
Yes.
And so in general,
I mean, he
in
runs-
this movie,
he
there's
runs
just
away
a
from a lot
lot of disappointing adults
It's also New York, though.
in this.
Yeah, you're lucky.
At the plaza. Like it's
okay.
not like
Yeah, but when you
Motel
see-
6.
Yeah,
It's
but when
like
you see a child, you're
Donald
like,
Trump
you,
was there. You think people cared about kids?
you almost like when you see a child. I imagine, especially in the 90s,
go either way there.
you're like, you don't have any money. Like,
Right.
you're not-
What do
I'm
I
not-
care?
Where's your dad?
Right.
Who's paying for this?
Bye.
Yeah, like,
Next.
yeah.
They don't care.
and then like there's just
Keep going.
there's
what we're
so
here for.
many parts where I'm like, no, what are you doing? Like
What are you doing?
when she just accepts when he's going into the hotel.
Yes.
And she just like, okay. And we're
then
gonna believe this 10-year-old.
It's the plaza. How many 10-year-olds are there?
Argue
Right.
back at you.
got the
You're
credit
gonna
card.
be, and
Right.
you're gonna be
It's
like,
fine.
oh, okay.
Imagine it's my dad's
Any
credit
normal
card.
person in that position, at least who's been trained correctly, especially she's
Now
not
it's a training issue.
she's not a teenager.
It's the 90s. People
not
were
a
just like,
teenager.
yeah, well,
Yeah,
She's
sure.
not a
They
teenager.
didn't even have. They could go like this. Whack whack.
Yeah,
You get
done.
like 4 days until you know that's
Yep.
fake. By the way.
Yep.
At least
She's
4.
not a teenager. It could be argued that she has tenure there. She's been there for a minute. She's got
Sure.
tenure
Okay.
there.
Okay.
And she just is like, would rather avoid getting in trouble
Well, think
because
about
of
it.
this 10-year-old instead of just being like, go ahead, call your dad.
But
It's
think-
also the holidays.
It's the holidays.
I'll
and also,
wait.
And also think about it. Maybe she had a rough day. Maybe her cat's sick. Do you think she gives a fuck?
Why
No.
has it gotta be her cat
Well,
sick?
Her dog's
her
sick.
kid is
Her
kid.
kid's
Kid.
sick.
Maybe she has a kid.
Maybe she doesn't have
Well, that's why-
anything.
maybe that's why she was more. She was
Right.
like, oh, well, I guess I would want my kid to be able to.
Bullshit.
Check in.
A parent would have been, actually, she probably doesn't have
mean,
kids.
she
Because
does,
a parent
but
would have
she
been like,
does-
nah.
she does ask
You're not
good
here checking into a
questions,
hotel without your father. Ain't no way. Like,
She asks good questions. Like, where's your dad?
Right.
Where is he? What is he here
well,
for?
same. Okay, so same with the flight attendants, right? Even the guy is like, you go with him then,
Yeah.
and you make sure. But then when they go on, he just
dad's
goes,
right
"That's my
there."
dad," and she's like, "Okay, cool, Merry Christmas."
Yeah.
You're just not. He could have said that about any
Anybody.
human on the plane.
Again, it's the 90s, and it's more of that easygoing.
I guess.
I mean,
Less
I
to
was
worry
flying
about
solo.
type of
I've
stuff. maybe?
flown solo in the 90s. Like,
Sure.
but that was, my parents dropped me off at the thing.
Right.
They had a person put me on the plane, a person take me off the plane, and make sure you were.
Yeah.
But then again, he's not a solo flyer.
No, he
like I
said that's my
was.
dad.
Yeah.
He actually says my family's already on there, and then doesn't notice when he's. Well, I get they weren't sitting together
Which
but-
also seems
Weird.
pretty
in
crazy.
today's. Well,
Like,
because
yeah.
then well now though you take a seat, you take a seat. Like so if you're
But if-
not all boarding together, and
It
the
all
seats
depends
are-
on the airline,
If you're
too,
a late
yeah.
boarding class. You are not all sitting together,
See.
especially in that
I
big
know,
group.
right?
In that big group, there's no way.
You're right.
Yeah.
Honestly, even if you board early, you that big of a group.
Well, how
you know,
weird
I
would it
mean-
be to sit down and be like, "Who the fuck's kid is this?"
Right.
Like I would be
Also,
bothered. I'd be like,
when
"You
he
got a
said-
Game Boy or something?"
When
Right.
he said that's my dad,
Talkboy.
was that man not sitting in first class?
I think he was just further up.
Because that's where the door was, and usually
That's where they got
first
the
class,
little.
Yeah, but she was
that
just.
could've
But
done
then
better.
she pointed
He would've
back
had
to
to
coach,
walk.
and she was like, "Okay, go find a seat back there."
Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, wouldn't he have to pass his face?
I'm just, you know what?
Look, all right, now you're getting okay. Now this is I do agree with this one.
Okay.
I'm there. I see it.
We're
And
making
he also
headway.
walks
Everything else, I'm
to-
just like, they're
he
just
walks
humans. They're just
to
humans.
a
They don't
plane.
care.
It's New York City.
And like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, if he wasn't sitting near them, not a big deal. But he walks through the plane. I get he's not very tall, but you're telling me you didn't think for a second, like, I haven't seen. There's like 11 of them. I haven't seen
Yeah.
not one person I know on
But
this
are you
plane.
looking for them because really you don't like them?
mean, I guess
So are you
maybe
looking for
not.
them?
It's a vacation. You're trying to get away. You don't care about anything.
Also, I get that they're not all sitting together, but I feel like there's no way I'm not making sure one of my youngest kids is not in the vicinity of where I'm sitting.
Yeah, the youngest.
The youngest.
Yeah.
Wait, I thought the other one was younger.
Fuller's younger, but he's not their kid.
Oh, that's right. He's the cousin.
Yeah.
Which is ironic since they're
if
brothers in real life.
how about
right?
this? You're
Aren't
in,
they brothers in real life? Isn't that the
Yeah,
other?
Kieran Colgan
Yeah.
and Macaulay Culkin.
So ironic
yeah,
since they're
ironic. Yeah.
actually
Oh, that's
related.
funny. I didn't realize that was Karen.
Oh my god. Yeah. Who's bigger now? Anyways, so let's say you go to New York for Christmas this year, right?
Yeah.
Pass.
Gross. And
Yeah,
some
people? Crowd?
some kid,
many people.
10
Cold?
some 10-year-old kid walks up to you and asks you a question, and you're in the Plaza Hotel lobby. Are you gonna care about that kid?
I'd be like, I don't even know where I am, bud.
Yeah.
I honest to God probably would have been like, where are your relatives? Where
would
are
you
your
though?
guardians? Yes.
As a woman,
Yes.
you can do that. If a guy's like,
We
hey,
can't.
buddy,
Yeah.
where you
Well,
going?
why are you saying it
Fucking
like
want
that?
some
No,
candy?
don't say it like that.
No, I wouldn't be that. I want some-
Don't say it like that, and don't
extra bit.
and
Hey,
don't
buddy.
take him anywhere. But maybe be like, hey, like, where's your
I
parent?
don't even want to. You have to understand. I don't even almost want to acknowledge that.
Can I? Can
I'd be
I?
like, I see it, but I'm going to pretend
Can I tell you something?
I did it because guess
not
what?
my
The police
problem.
report's a lot easier
Yep.
to go. I didn't see anything.
Yep.
Can
Not my
I tell
problem.
you something I just saw online within the last like 4 days, probably?
Sure.
I saw a video of
No, you
of a
cannot.
mom.
You cannot.
of a mom, and there were a lot of other moms commenting on it saying that they do this too. And I've never heard this. I've never heard my friends talk about this. This mom and other moms apparently have taught their children that when something is going wrong, to not yell for help, but to yell mom, because there's no way another woman is not turning around
Right.
to see why that kid is yelling.
Yeah.
So
mean, I
instead of
agree,
yelling
but, yeah.
help,
Mom.
you yell mom.
Yeah.
Because
I would
and,
too.
and there were also people in the comments, men and women alike, being like, "I'm not even a parent."
Yeah,
and if I
it's
heard a
fine.
kid screaming for their parent, I would probably be like, "What's?"
I mean,
you know, like
let's be real. I'm 36 years old, and when I'm having trouble, I still yell mom.
Sometimes.
maybe
I do
go
that so
down
it makes it look
road.
I'm not alone. But oh, my mom needs me. She's over there.
Mom!
Sometimes that when you're sitting at the register, like, oh, my mom's got she's got the card.
I didn't forget it in the car. God damn it. I got to go see where my mom is. I'll be right back.
I get it.
Yeah.
I
What
get
do you want to say
Not
something?
that, yeah, I do, but I don't really want to go. I don't know if I want. That's a road I want to go down.
We're here. You said it.
So it's also along.
Prepare.
It's along the same lines of why when they teach women, young girls, when you're getting attacked, to not scream help, yell fire, because people will come for fire before they will come for someone yelling help.
Why was that?
Because I wasn't trying to make it into a
But you're
woman
not.
thing, but it just
But it is.
But different things get people's attention differently. Sadly,
I
these
get that.
days. So it just it.
Oh, I mean, you're talking to a person who ignores things because I don't want to be involved. Like, and nowadays, honestly, if you help, you're putting yourself at risk and liability.
I mean,
For
to be
real.
honest,
Unfortunately, the way it is now, you are.
and I get everybody's different, but to be honest, from my standpoint, if I hear someone screaming help, I probably am going to take notice because I'm at least
I'm not
going
saying
to
I
look and be
completely
like, what the
ignore.
hell's happening?
Well, I like to know my surroundings.
More so than fire, to be honest, because I know but what
Shit, get out of here.
what I mean is
Fire!
I know that what am I going to do in a fight in a situation for help maybe because I don't know what they're yelling help for, but in a
Sure.
situation for fire
I know
I'm
what
not
they're
gonna
yelling
be
for.
helpful. I mean, I'll if nobody else is paying attention, then maybe I can make a 911 call if nobody else is. But what else am I going to do in a fire situation?
Nothing.
I mean, even if it's my own fire, I'm not really sure what
Everyone, there's a fire.
I'm gonna. Yeah, they said fire. Did anybody else?
Well, I can also. There's definitely a thing that catches
Also
your.
just yell rape.
Well, there's a thing that catches your ear where it's like
People ignore that.
you can tell
You're right.
when like a woman screams or like a child screams, like if it's real. You can tell. Like if it's blood curdling,
Yeah.
like you can tell. And like, okay, that's gonna get my attention.
Yeah.
Because that's like a thing like
You're right.
no offense, when you watch videos of someone getting hurt and moms are just screaming, that doesn't help.
No.
That doesn't help. Now you're just raising my anxiety.
You're right.
you scream
Ooh.
something.
Yeah.
Though.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I get that. Yeah, yeah. I'm not disagreeing.
Speaking about screaming about something, where this movie is what?
What I was gonna say
Oh,
is, though,
no,
is
we're still
one
doing-
one of the other reasons they had said to say for a kid to say mom or whatever is because if they're just yelling, it could be they're having a tantrum because they don't like what the parent is trying to make them do. But if you're yelling for a parent, then someone will recognize that adult with them is not their parent. Like if they're yelling for a parent, then obviously that's not their mom or dad. But if they're just yelling or having a tantrum, someone might just be like, "Oh my God, this kid." Jesus,
I'll just picture
like,
the Titanic where he's like, "This is my child."
no one questioned it. He
Fucking
got right
Billy
on there.
Zane.
He got right on there.
Hey,
go.
he survived. Jack didn't. Just saying. Do you guys think there was
He
room?
survived,
Oh, sorry.
stayed rich, and she still did not go to his ass. She was like, nope. Would rather be with the frozen man down at the bottom of the ocean.
It's true love.
But she definitely married somebody else, had kids, and
Yeah, had a whole life.
had a whole life, and is what it is.
I mean, we're just gonna say that at the age
But that
of
guy was second rate.
20 or whatever the hell she was supposed to be, she was gonna
How
be
would you
single forever.
hold on? That guy died, right? Obviously, her.
Jack?
No.
Oh,
No.
I was like, yeah.
No. He was
No, he
frozen in
didn't.
carbonite.
I heard he's the Great Gatsby.
Oh,
Have you ever seen that loop?
No.
Where it's like Jack doesn't die.
Leo, but he becomes
And he becomes he lands,
Because
he
he's
gets
in the
to New
Great
York.
Gatsby movie.
Yeah, and he changes his name, and he becomes. That's why no one knows who he is.
I got you. I was talking about the second husband.
Yeah.
Or the whoever she marries and has the family with.
Fourth, jeez.
17.
I mean, we also saw his upbringing before he got on the Titanic, where he became. I mean, he pretended to be a pilot.
Yes. Catch
He
me if you can.
pretended
Yep.
to be
Yep.
a salesman. He
Yep.
pretended to be a banker. I mean, a lawyer. So like,
Yeah.
honestly, Leo's just
You know, Jack.
his whole life is being pretending
Jack, you mean.
as obviously an actor,
Pretend?
but like, you know,
What I'm saying though is, so if you're that husband, if you're alive at this point and like you hear about her going on to find the Titanic in this fucking diamond necklace,
That guy's dead.
he's got to be, because he'd be not having a good time.
She took his last name.
Yeah,
yeah, she did.
mean-
When they were walking around asking.
you would, right? But also like, imagine finding out you had this multi-million-dollar gem necklace, and then she just goes, nah, throws it over the. You know how mad that person would be? Like this whole time. Our whole life.
I was pulling doubles.
I was struggling. And we could have been making.
I'm out here working 6/12.
Right. Life could have been so much easier. But, you know, Jack, this other guy, huh?
Some guy.
Technically,
Anyways.
he didn't even give her that though. It was the douchebag she didn't like who gave her that, and she still held on to it.
Right. So why?
That's probably really why.
I would have hawked that shit. You kidding?
That's what I'm saying.
Well, yeah, that extra spite.
I'd be making that money. You know what? It's because Billy Zane.
Billy Zane.
She's like, fuck. I need to find him.
Draw me like one of your French girls.
What an attractive man, Billy Zane. I'll leave it at that.
I'll drink to that as well.
What am I drinking to?
Billy Zane.
I went to take a sip before you guys said you were drinking to something, and I was
No,
like,
you're already in. You're already
I
in.
want to commit.
Good old Billy Zane.
Am I committing? I don't know.
Home Alone 2.
I was like, you know who's not in Home Alone 2?
Billy Zane, and he should be. Billy Zane should be in everything.
He should be he should be one of the extras walking around the hotel.
After Trump, he should have went up to somebody else, and be like, "Hey," and it was Billy Zane. And he's just like, "I don't know, kid. Get on this boat. Here's a ticket to this boat." Oh, Jesus Christ! Home
What's it
Alone
called?
2. You can watch it if you have a subscription to Disney Plus.
No, the Hope
The Hope
Diamond.
Diamond.
Hope Diamond. I got a heart of pond.
It was called the Heart of the Ocean, but it was the Hope Diamond.
That's in the Smithsonian. We can see that now.
But
They found it? Wait, never mind. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. Hey, the Titanic really happened. Have you seen that interview? Someone's like, "That's real." I thought it was a movie. Like, okay, sorry. Home Alone 2.
I know a person who thinks it's a movie only.
Are they in this room?
No.
Oh, okay. This is
Not-
why you
not-
said it.
no.
Look at you. I was like, is it her?
They might used to have been in this room.
Oh no. And they think Jurassic Park's real?
No. Jurassic Park is real. Get the fuck
It
out.
is. I was gonna say we can't even.
There
go
were
down
actually dinosaurs. So,
Dinosaurs.
dinosaurs.
Yeah, I mean, come on. Anyways, you can rent this on Amazon, YouTube, Google Play, Apple TV, and Fandango at Home. This is written by, and I did
Disney
not
Plus.
know that this was written by
Or
such
did you already say
a
that?
what?
It's on Disney Plus.
I said that, boy. You guys were talking about other things.
I was reading about eggnog again. I gotta close
goddamn
this.
eggnog.
Again?
So interesting.
Uh,
Milk Punch, brought to you by
Milk Punch.
Milk Punch.
I'm
Milk
saying that on Christmas
punch.
Eve. Anytime someone asks me to make them an eggnog, because I'm like,
Oh, you want some milk punch?
I'm like
All right.
the unofficial eggnog maker at when I go to my parents' house for Christmas Eve.
Unofficial.
I'm gonna tell them they need to
Official.
request. I will only make milk punch.
Yeah.
Only.
It's only milk punch.
No,
I don't
only.
know what eggnog is, but I'm only making milk punch tonight.
And then you give it to them. Like, this is eggnog.
This
No,
is
it's not.
milk punch.
Milk punch.
I was wrong. I don't know how to
Ooh,
pronounce
put a little coconut in there.
Well, that's what's called. If you
Coconut on the, like shavings on the top.
hit the thing.
Oh, we're gonna hit the thing.
I don't know what it's called. Coquito. I'm not 100% sure, but it's a Puerto Rican eggnog.
Coquito.
Yeah, it's really good.
Coquito.
I've
I
had
don't
it.
think it's Queed. I think it's just
Puerto Rican-
right?
Puerto Rican
eggnog.
Puerto Rican
QUI
milk
is
punch.
not-
But they use
I
rum.
don't-
What do
Quito.
you use? What do you put in there? You already
Quito.
said it.
I said it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whiskey?
Whiskey.
Just rewind.
chata.
Put it back at the.
Here we go.
It's,
Oh yeah, Fireball.
it's rum chata and fireball.
God bless it.
Anyways, Home Alone 2 was,
Who was
written,
it? It was
by
written by?
John Hughes.
John Hughes.
Yeah.
John Hughes.
The guy who's written Pretty in Pink,
Yeah.
nice.
all the Rat Pack
Oh
movies.
Yeah, yeah.
That's
It was my
kind
pick.
of wild.
I knew that.
Yeah. Well, it's kind of wild to think about because, like,
Didn't know anything.
I learned just as much as the listeners do. It's fantastic.
well, what I'm saying is, like, this isn't to me like his. I know he
style?
did the first movie too, but like, I didn't think he did the sequel. It doesn't feel. I mean, it feels kind of the same, but at the same time, it doesn't.
I mean, there's no way he did 3 and 4 because that's trash.
No.
Yeah, he was.
He sold the
Trash
rights to
movies.
that.
He sold the rights. It's funny too, right? Like, the third movie
Catherine O'Hare. Yeah.
is amazing. You almost lose the whole spirit of Home Alone with
Yes.
going with a different family.
Yeah.
But also at the same time, if you do another movie and they lose him again,
It's like, okay.
This is
CPS
you're getting
is
taken
involved.
away.
Yeah,
That's what,
right.
Yes, it's like child supports, like what is it? Services,
Child
Protective
services.
protective services.
Yeah,
CPS.
unless they just do the same thing. So the third movie, essentially, he's home alone, but he's not there because they left him.
No, he's like sick.
He's sick.
And then there's like a microchip involved, and it's crazy.
And it's in a RC
Government,
car.
yeah, it's-
Remember the mutator? I wanted that thing so bad. Right. But they could have done that with him. Hey, I'm sick. Okay, stay home, but
Yeah.
I got it.
Macaulay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're also, he's probably a little too old. Well,
No, if they did it, I mean,
if they did it right away,
yeah, that's what I mean.
they should have.
You know, but there's also called too much of a good thing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Like all this rum chata in this drink.
I feel like you'd have to have a good thing first in order to use that.
You didn't what? You didn't like Home Alone?
Did you like the first Home Alone
Take
movie?
that back. That's blasphemous.
She finished that drink and went,
This okay.
"Oh, we're doing it." Okay.
They're a little silly to me. And they've got a lot of this.
It's a
Listen,
90s comedy.
they also have a lot of the slapstick stuff that I've mentioned before.
She doesn't
I
like
don't
slapstick
that.
humor.
And so that's not funny to me. I also often don't find children funny. So like
Okay.
the main character being
He's not supposed to be funny.
a snarky kid
You're-
kind of
you're
just
supposed to-
bugs me.
So you definitely don't like Uncle Buck then.
No, definitely not. She's like, never seen it.
I've seen it.
Oh, she has.
I just watched that again the other day.
Look at that.
Fantastic.
Is it on Plex? No, it's not.
Amazon.
Oh no. Oops.
This wasn't on Plex either.
But also, like I said, while watching it, all I can think about are all of the disappointing
There you
actions
go.
and decisions that
Turn it. To
adults are. Turn it to what?
I get it, but
See how his is like up?
I'm going to respectfully disagree.
There you go. Look at that. Sorry
These
for
are
your
two.
ears.
These are two of my favorite.
I just keep leaning forward
Christmas
and
movies.
accidentally touching it.
You're fine.
Don't touch it.
Or touch it. So, what you're saying is, I hate kids, I hate slapstick humor, and I hate Christmas.
No.
That's what it sounds like to me.
I don't eat Christmas.
Okay, so the only thing you
And I
actually
don't
like.
hate kids.
I don't.
Maybe.
I don't. No, I don't. But
So you don't see the charm in these movies.
I don't.
You don't see Catherine O'Hara acting her
I
ass
love
off.
Catherine O'Hara.
So then, like, just watch it from her point of view.
That's traumatic.
You sure?
If you watch it from her point of view, you are traumatized. That's traumatic.
Until the end when you
child
come
is
back
in
together with your child.
Especially the first one, not just another city. My child is in another country.
And she's trying to get back to him.
So
I cannot get to him.
Think of the great story
Like,
they'll have when he's
That's
an adult.
traumatizing.
I just relate. Like obviously,
Remember that time we left you in?
Are you? If
we went to Paris?
anything, I'm using that all the fucking time.
I don't know. See,
Mom,
Kevin-
hey, I'm not apologizing to Buzz because you know why? You left me in fucking home when you went to Paris last year.
Yeah.
I'm hungry. Make me a
Who wants to
sandwich.
spend Christmas in Paris?
I
Also,
know, right? Who does?
completely unrealistic that an entire auditorium full of adults, nay, parents,
Nay.
were going to laugh
Nay.
at this dumb kid behind him shining lights in his ears. Like,
Oh, I know.
no way that entire auditorium is laughing their ass off of that. It wasn't even funny.
It kind of was.
No, it's not funny enough for everyone to be like knee slap laughing out in the audience.
but it's also the '90s. That was hilarious back
Have some
then.
fun.
Lighten up. Have a little nog.
Have a little nog.
Have a
She's
little
like, I already
milk
had
punch.
a.
Have your
Maybe,
second
maybe
glass of
have a
milk
second
punch.
glass of nog.
Tell me how you really feel about
Right.
Home Alone. I bond with Kevin. I come from a small. I don't have siblings.
Sure.
But when I was left, I remember my parents like, "All right, you think you can handle this? You know, not
you
what
can
to
be
do."
Home Alone?
And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm walking around the house with my Nerf gun.
Yeah,
Like, I dare you to come in here.
I got this.
I'm gonna put you right between the eyes."
I was opposite. Actually, even into my high school years, when
That
somebody
dart's
would
going,
knock or
"Ooh."
ring the doorbell, I was one of those kids that like you sink into the couch, like, oh, if they don't see me.
Well, I did that too, but I
they
had
won't know
vantage
I'm
points. I was hanging around a corner, like
That's what I'm saying. Check your corners, right?
yeah, dude. I had vantage points.
You knew if somebody hit that doorbell. All right, I'm gonna be in position A15, and we're gonna look down over the fucking the door.
You know, I used to when people used to ring the doorbell at my old house. I used to go out the back door and come around the side of the house.
Who are you?
Yeah, but I would never say anything. I would just watch them.
That's when you let the dog out of the side door and he comes around the front.
That's funny.
But yeah, like this was, in my opinion, like this is what little boys like prepared for. Like when I remember being left like home alone, like you have an imagination.
Sure.
You have Nerf guns.
Yeah.
You have these things. You know all the good hiding spots in your house.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
ready.
And he's literally like, I'm going to defend this house.
Yeah, and he did.
And he did. Well, this is number one.
Well, he goes,
But
sure.
number two,
He
what-
defended that
Well, that's what-
empty.
That's what amazes me
fucking
about number
studio
two.
apartment. What
Because
is it?
he's like, his dad's like, do you think he'd go to my brother's house? So number one, he's been there before,
Mm-hmm.
remembers what it, like, I don't even know, dude, you know how hard
Actually,
addresses are?
I was gonna say,
Try
how
to
did you
function
fucking
without
get
your
there?
phone. Try to
How-
remember
Well,
there's
again, the
no way-
90s,
There's
the
no way
90s.
that
We used to use
10-year
MapQuest.
Yeah, yeah.
There's no way
Not in
that
the 90s.
10-year-old.
We used to use
Maps.
the fucking the route McNally fucking.
Although, did I miss
Yellow
that?
book? What?
Did I miss him give him where did he get the
Well,
address
it was
from?
in his dad's bag. Because remember, he's got his wallet again.
But how did? And so his brother's address was just.
Yeah, it was in there.
In
Yeah,
there?
this is back
Address
when people
book.
had address books.
I see.
Address.
Address.
Also,
Address?
were they just supposed to come back from
Address.
vacation and that house was going to be ready? Because I don't think it was
No,
going
it's
to be.
definitely far from ready.
Because there's
He
no
said
way
he
it was
doing
going to be
a
ready.
full- They were
Yeah,
doing
yeah.
a full reno.
Because like, were they even living in that house?
Full
Because
no.
I feel like there's no way.
No, there was
I
a
mean,
full-
when you went on the one floor, they had all the furniture in there and still, and it was all. But the rest of it looked like no one has lived there
They were starting
for a
over.
long time.
And then imagine, what does his brother do? What are
Right.
the McCallisters in?
Some stuff.
Yeah, dude. Because think about that house. And then think
Yeah,
about
their
that
house.
He's got
apartment.
a
That's
nice
a 4-story apartment.
That was a brownstone. He had a nice brownstone in New York.
New York City.
They're in the mafia.
There's
There's
something.
only one explanation here.
That's-
Or
isn't
they're
it-
Or is it McCallister Meats? Is that real? Or I just make that up?
I think you made it up. But do you
Sounds
remember
good.
that in the first
You can
people,
look it up.
Brothers.
people always speculated that.
Hey, you
want to
go to steak? You come and see us.
I'm pretty sure there's Reddit forums and everything
You
everywhere
want a
about,
T-bone?
Yeah,
about-
McCallister's Deli. They're in.
about what the McCallisters do because his house also, their house
Ooh, that
is
looks
a
good.
big house. They've got 5
yeah.
children.
Locations.
They're
Find out where
going
those locations
They're going
are.
to Paris. They're taking all of their kids to Paris.
So I remember reading
Hey, your dad's
something.
paying good money for this
shit.
trip, bub.
Look at that butter pecan fucking cheesecake, spicy barbecue chicken crunch. What? There's 564 McCallisters.
They're doing well. I don't
Is
see
there-
New York.
Wait, is
I
there
don't
one
see
in New York?
Maryland. Is there any in
There's no
Maryland?
Maryland. Where-
There's one. There's one.
Wait, where are they at?
Why did I just look up here? I'm like, where?
I was looking for MA2.
Wait, no, where do they live?
I don't know.
Live. Chicago?
Baltimore. Oh shit.
No,
going.
like the McCallister. Where do they live?
Hold on.
Chicago.
Yes, Chicago.
Was
Okay.
Illinois
O'Hare.
on there?
Chicago.
What?
Was Illinois on there?
Probably. Illinois. Iowa.
Yep, sure. It's 39 of them.
Yeah,
See,
so they
this
know
is
we
it.
are, yeah,
This
yeah,
is
yeah.
it.
This is McCallister's
This
Deli.
is what they do.
Holy
Wow, there's the
Mo-
we got
Because that's
Tina,
look. That's
Montgomery,
one of their-
Geneva, Glenview, Gurney,
Wait, go back
Jackson.
to the
There's a
States.
Jacksonville, Chicago.
Go back to the
Or
States.
Jacksonville, Illinois.
That's the one, except for
There's 112 in Texas.
No, they-
Holy shit.
Maybe they're in
I
Texas.
was
They
gonna
moved to
say,
Texas.
that's one of them. Look, Indiana's got 48, Illinois got 39, and then the next is Texas.
Yeah, Mississippi's
Mississippi
got
has
40. I mean,
40.
shoot.
So those are
Mississippi.
they're.
The McCallisters are onto something.
Hit
I'm
that
just
menu
like
real quick.
pinpointing what some of those states
take a little
are, and I'm
looky.
just
What do we got?
thinking.
Sandwiches?
Spuds. We can get some Spuds.
I
Choose
like,
two.
I like a nice club
I do
Sammy.
too. Oh.
Boy.
King Club. Look at that thing.
McCallister's.
Look at that King Club Sammy.
Is it
what-
spelled
this
the same way?
This is how we got our vacation home, honey.
Is it spelled the same way? Why do I feel like theirs has 2 L's? Maybe it
Make
doesn't.
it out. Yeah, who knows?
Maybe it
They
doesn't.
changed it. They just took the one off for purposes of not being the same
You can
thing.
get red beans
Cajun
and rice.
red. Oh my god, mac and cheese. That mac and cheese doesn't look good. Cucumber
actually
tomato
doesn't.
salad.
Cup of soup. Cup of
soup.
cheese.
What kind of soup? This says cup of soup. What kind of soup?
They got clam
Do
chatty.
they just decide for you?
Oh, we gotta fucking make an order before we
I
do
don't
it.
even know that.
All right.
Dude, that right there though, that chicken, whatever that thing is at the top.
This here?
Yeah, it says something. Go back up a little bit. Spicy barbecue chicken crunch.
there's
Yeah, 'cause
chips
there's
on that.
chips on
There's
there.
chips
Those
on
are
that
probably
bad boy.
that
barbecue
looks
chips.
Wow.
amazing.
Those look like barbecue
That's
chips.
elementary Josh's dream sandwich.
We're going to McCallister's.
The fresh,
I'm going
the
to
fresh Japs right
with
there.
the fresh yaps.
Wow.
Those jalapenos. I like it. Anyways, this movie is directed by Christopher Columbus.
Interesting.
Not the man.
Keep going. I don't want to talk about that.
Okay. Well, what I do want to talk about
Yes.
is other movies that he's directed.
Oh,
Harry Potter.
nice.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
Mayflower.
In the Mayflower, he might have directed something on that.
There's a lot of
Go
guessing.
West.
Christopher
He did a lot of
Columbus.
guessing.
I feel
Yeah,
like you change your name, right?
Christopher?
Columbus.
Columbus?
Christopher Columbus. You change your name.
Nah,
I feel like
nah, you keep it.
For what? Back then? Or
if
now?
you live with
Oh,
that
now.
name, you
Yeah,
change
yeah.
your name. Is what
I
I'm
want
saying.
to. I want to
like
sail the seas of directing.
I don't know, but Columbo is a good name. I like Columbo. Maybe call me Chris Columbo.
I like. Yeah, that's better.
Yeah, I like that.
Or like, is there another? I wonder what his middle name is.
See, Columbo, he act dumb.
you
Like,
know
he's
what?
really smart.
Maybe
Yeah.
Chris is his middle name, and he was like, you know, it'd be funny.
Christopher
I'm gonna go by
Columbus.
Christopher, so that I'm Christopher
Yeah,
Columbus.
that was probably cool in the 90s. Nowadays,
Nope.
not so much.
That they found out about the other things.
Smallpox blankets.
Oh no.
Can you believe that?
I can.
I can't.
I can't. Yeah.
Scurvy. What?
Here, this is for you and your family. Such a government move.
Oh, Jesus
Such a
Christ.
government.
Home Alone 2 is rated PG for comic action and mild language.
Comic. Comic action. We've heard that before.
I wish we could get a rated R version of this with swearing and blood. Like imagine like Harry getting hit or Marv getting hit in the face with a brick and he's like, motherfucker.
There's no
Like,
way they wouldn't have bled for multiple things that
yeah.
happen.
So there's a YouTube channel.
Even just their nose is getting hit. Your nose is bleeding.
that's
Like,
called Corridor Crew,
Nice.
and they're like a CGI type.
I think
Channel.
I watched that one today.
And they did like, hey, what if Home Alone was rated R? What if Star Wars was rated
Yeah.
R? And they, yeah,
It's cool. Cause I told you the fun facts before we started. I was curious
yes.
of the injury list and
A
how
lot.
many times they would have actually been killed. And it was ranked.
They
And
were
it's
dead.
pretty interesting.
Really
I feel
early
like,
on.
and I feel
Oh,
like
yeah.
even if you take out the ones where they would have died, there's definitely also ones where they would have been like
life-changing
in the
injuries.
ICU,
Yeah, yeah.
like in a coma, burn center.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, getting hit in the face with a brick, life altering.
From any feat.
Not four
the
stories
amount
up.
of broken bones, I feel like, in your face alone.
one
If you
is
don't
caving
die,
your face
you've
up.
got multiple broken bones in your face. Your face is
You
fractured.
might even go blind.
You're breathing through a tube for a
yeah,
while.
yeah.
it's just smashed in.
But you know what it is?
Your teeth are gone.
It is pretty funny.
It is hilarious. 4 in a row. Come on, get this kid a contract.
I know, right? What an
Well,
arm.
the best is that
Henry Rowan Gardner?
Harry just keeps moving. He's like, huh?
Right.
Harry.
You have to admit, the combination of the Wet Bandits, them two as actors, is genius.
It's perfect. It doesn't get any better. Joe Pesci is a legit mastermind.
Yes.
Because think about it, like stepping back to the first one, he dressed up as a cop to come to see if people were going out of town.
Yep.
Genius.
And he hit every house.
Yet makes such dumb choices in
Well,
both of these movies.
That's criminals.
But the first movie, he didn't make any real dumb choices, minus, all right, we need to kill this kid.
Right.
Take it back to before that. They were hitting all those houses. They were doing
Smart.
everything. Marv was the only one who was kind of...
Leaving the sinks on.
Exactly.
Well, that's what you do. You have it's a typical Pinky in the Brain situation.
Correct.
Like you have to have. One,
You're right.
That's
You're
how
right.
it works.
Mostly with sequels, when
If you have
something
two
works...
brains, you're not getting anything done.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if you have two pinkies, you're not getting anything done for different reasons.
Yeah, too much arguing and then too much failure.
What if two pinkies was the genius move and they're so dumb that they cancel each other out and they do everything right?
Well, I think if you have two
Like, their
pinkies,
ideas
then
are
you're a
s-
four-man crew.
their
then you have
ideas
two
are so
brains.
extreme.
You know what I mean?
Like both pinkies, their ideas are so extreme
Right.
that they work.
That's what I'm saying. Don't knock it till you try it.
They're walking away with injuries either way.
Oh, you're right.
I mean-
Someone's getting hurt.
You're right. I forget where I was going with my... Thanks, Tara.
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's the
I
nod.
feel like
It's the
Josh
no-
might have
it's
been
the-
part of
it's
it,
the
too.
milk-
I feel like Josh might have been part of it too.
Milk punch.
Milk punch. I was
Wow,
like,
okay,
wow.
reboot.
Yeah, God damn it. Anyways, Home Alone 2 is starring Macaulay Culkin as Kevin McCallister. I want to talk about something for a second. Have you known
There's goods in the bottom.
any
I know
other
something.
person named Macaulay?
That's a pretty odd first name. Same as his brother though, Kieran.
Right.
To touch base.
I know. I actually have seen other Kieran's. It's not
Of course
spelled.
Tara has.
It's not spelled the same way, but it's. I think Kieran's an Irish name.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Kieran.
So I've
I imagine
seen,
Macaulay is too.
I haven't seen that, but
Macaulay.
I have seen. I have seen Kieran.
See what
I've
you
seen
say?
Sounds
Kieran.
pretty good.
I've seen them spelled differently, Kieran
and
too.
Macaulay.
But
Culkin.
So they've been working a long time, 30 years together.
They've been in the shit together.
Welcome to Macaulay's Tavern.
I do feel like they swapped a little bit too. Like he
Wanna
was
start
really
a
big
bar?
when he was younger.
we might want to.
And then
We should
you
buy a
know,
bar.
We should buy a bar.
And then he pulled back,
And we'll have a back room
And
called
then-
Kieran's Back Room.
and then Kieran stepped up
Yeah.
and was more in the middle-aged stuff. He
Yeah.
did more stuff, while Macaulay was more
But even,
younger stuff.
but even in like Scott Pilgrim, like Kieran had that, like he has that more edgy look than Macaulay. I think Macaulay Culkin, even now as an adult, he still looks like a child to me. But maybe that's just because that's how I register him.
Probably.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But he still, I think Kieran has a different look than
I agree with that.
Macaulay. But how great is Macaulay Culkin doing now?
He's doing great. Well,
Like,
what's
it
the
was
show
bad
he's
for a
on?
while.
There's a show that he's on that he's
I
killing.
haven't watched
Oh, really?
it.
I just was saying, I was just speaking to his life. Like he married, what's her
Oh.
name?
Brenda Song.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
Like
for
how
him.
great is that? And
Yeah.
he got a star.
Aren't
Yeah.
did they have a
I think they have two
baby? Okay.
Two
babies.
little babies. Good for them.
Yeah, it's exciting.
It's definitely exciting. We also got Joe Pesci as Harry, Daniel Stern as Marv. What are we left at?
I don't know.
No, it was just Chris Hemsworth.
Oh,
Okay.
so you typed Chris, and so it just
Yeah.
brought
Of course
up
it's
the
gonna be
most-
the first,
whatever the
yeah,
more
yeah.
common Chris's that would have been.
I'm glad
Well,
it's
I
not
was-
Chris Pratt.
I was gonna type.
Oh, he's on there. Shut this.
What?
Move this.
I don't see him.
Yeah, he's
Move
right
this.
there.
Damn it. I like that Chris Tucker's above him.
Interesting
Oh,
that
so he's the
honestly,
third
that Chris
Yeah.
Tucker is even up there. To be honest.
What? Chris Tucker's a good.
Oh no, I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not dissing Chris Tucker. I'm saying today that when you would type Chris,
Lee!
he's in the top
Lee!
of the three Chris's that came up.
Okay, Chris Tucker again.
Come on, man. Corbin,
Some of the-
Corbin, my man.
Some of the best outtakes from Rush Hour.
Oh my God.
I love that he's
Gefilte
still.
fish.
I love that he's still doing like even when they're messing up, he's still breaking stuff in it, knowing they're gonna have to refilm it again. Like he still kicked that door down, knowing he just called him the wrong name.
Johnny again.
Yeah,
Come on, Jackie, let's do it. And he's like,
Jackie again, and kicks the door. Still breaks the door down, knowing they're gonna have to refilm that.
yeah, they got none of both.
He was just.
They're doing
committed.
Rush Hour 4,
I think he was
right?
just
Not
in
to
it.
get completely far off here.
Are they?
Wait, who's in charge of the Google machine?
Ooh, it's been in the works for a while, but I don't. Who knows? I mean,
Well, so I feel like the third one was
Rush
too.
4. Rush Hour.
I feel
You
like
guys
they
right
talked.
there?
Feel like they talked
right
about
there,
the third
right
one
there.
for a long time, and then all of a sudden they were like, "Oh no, we really."
There's a trailer?
There's
Or
no
nah, it's probably
No,
fake.
it's probably.
I
a
hate those
fan-built.
fake ones because they be getting me sometimes.
Oh, I know. They're good. And then you're like, wait, I've seen this scene somewhere.
They are doing
God
it.
damn it, it's from
The
Avengers.
third one came out in 2007.
Yeah.
Look, I'm holds this side again. I realize.
Well-
it's not. Before it was here and it wasn't in my.
Actually, I think it's
grill.
better here.
It's straight on.
Straight on.
I wasn't facing it before. Like I turned this way to talk to you
true,
guys.
true,
So
true,
before I'm like moving more. Before
New
it was
studio
here and I just didn't
problems.
move.
You just got to get used to things. I mean, you can change how it kind of
The
is.
future is now.
Remember this one time.
Are you getting the tidbits in the bottom of your
Yeah,
milk punch?
yeah.
It's good.
Getting a little
extra razzle dazzle.
treats.
Well, that
trinkets.
razzle dazzle.
Also, we got Catherine O'Hara as Kate McCallister, John Hurd as Peter McCallister, Devin Rattray as Buzz, Hilary Wolf as Megan, Maureen Elizabeth Shea as Linny McCallister, Michael C. Morona as Jeff, and Jerry Banman as Uncle Frank.
Uncle Frank.
Good old
He's
Uncle
kind of a
Frank.
douche.
I mean, but wouldn't you be?
No,
Cheapskate.
he's just
Your
a
dad's
douche.
paying good money for this trip, buddy.
Right. Maybe they were doctors.
Maybe.
That would make sense.
I do like
But he's
the.
home a lot, I feel like, for
And
that.
I don't know if this was done on purpose.
He's a podiatrist.
I assume that it was done on purpose, maybe. But I liked the throwback to the first one where he is sitting on that plane to New York and the guy sitting next to him is French.
Yeah. He starts talking.
Yeah, because they went to Paris in the first
Yeah.
one. I like that little throwback. I don't know if it was on purpose, if
Yeah,
they,
probably, definitely.
or
on
if they were
purpose.
just like this person needs to speak another language, and that guy just was like, okay, well,
It was as much on
French is what
purpose
I
as
speak.
naming your kid Christopher Columbus.
I feel like what are you? I mean,
What are you doing? You love
what are you
history,
doing?
and then you
Probably
realize,
used to be an honor.
Yeah,
I don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Now it's like,
Maybe he is in the line of
did
Columbus's,
this.
and they're like, he's Christopher Columbus the 17th, and now they're like, fuck, we shouldn't have done it. Shouldn't have done it. Runtime. Tara was talking about this earlier today.
it's a long one.
It is pretty long for
is.
a comedy, action adventure, I guess if you would call it, movie. Like 120 minutes.
Yeah. Well, there's
It's
a lot of
it's two movies.
There's a lot of sections. Yeah, there's literally like him being left again, the new then him doing the
whole-
plaza,
all the hotel stuff.
shopping, then
Then the
him
stuff at the end.
entangling with him in the first place. Then he finds out. It is a long.
The last like
is.
half hour is like the first movie.
Correct.
But and then everything before that is kind of like a new concept.
Right. And
And
people
so
were
it's-
like, nah,
it's-
get to the killing. I want to
Yeah,
see
but
that kid kill him.
It
The
is
overall
though. It's
message
a
is
lot.
nice with the turtle doves
Yeah.
and the.
Getting all those kids the presents or whatever at the
Yeah.
end too. Like, come on. You can't be mad at it.
What was his name?
No, I like those
Santa
things.
Claus?
No, the old man, Duncan Soy Chest, Mr. Duncan,
Something
Mr.
Duncan.
Duncan.
Mr. Duncan. Yeah,
Isn't he Santa Claus?
yeah. Well, he brings. I'm sure he's the one who supplies all.
I mean, in like the sense of like
and would that I know you have a sibling. Do you have siblings? I don't know.
I do, yeah.
But would that bother you, like just opening random presents? Like, wait, which ones are mine?
A little bit.
Like, you know
there's
what I
no
mean? Because you
names
don't
on
know.
them.
It's happened
you don't know,
before.
but you don't know what you're getting.
And then your
like,
mom
do I
goes,
have to
that's not
share
for
all
you,
these
that's
things?
for him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Well, it's like, well, what do you mean Dale got Hulk hands?
Or there are grown-ups in there. Are all of these toys from a toy shop? Because there are grown-ups like Buzz doesn't want toys.
he
I
probably
feel
wants
like
pajamas
you know,
or socks.
The older girl probably doesn't want all these toys and stuff either.
just be
so
grateful.
what are in those things?
I'm 36.
You
I'm
brought
not-
it up, man.
I was just saying.
Just be
I do
grateful.
remember. So
Just be grateful, Josh. That's your conundrum you brought up.
Like, wait, hold on.
I've changed
give
my
you-
mind.
How come he gets the Hot Wheels?
yeah.
I've changed my mind.
Well, so what's funny is
Nope, box it up. I'm out. I'm out.
I'm remembering an actual Christmas in which me and my brother got different PlayStation 1 games than we were supposed to. And we opened them up at the same time, and
like,
he got
huh?
Gran Turismo, and I got like Crash Bandicoot, or sorry, I got Gran Turismo, and he got Crash Bandicoot, and I were supposed to be the other way. My mom goes, nope, give me that, here you go. And then it was just like, oh, okay, everything's fine.
My parents used to like, they would, when they
Watch
would,
this.
when they would bring in.
Because I was like, I don't want Gran Turismo. Obviously, I did now.
My parents, for the longest time, they would wrap presents on Christmas Eve, but they would get them
They
all.
would wrap them on Christmas
Yeah,
Eve.
but they would get them all ready
That's-
in the basement. We like couldn't go to the basement for like.
But if you
days
wrap them
before
when you got
Christmas.
them, then you wouldn't have to worry about that.
It was better with the two
I gotta
kids.
talk
I
to
guess
Ray.
in their
I gotta
mind, it
talk
was
to him.
easier.
Some people
to
don't-
like try to keep it separate in the moment.
I used to do a thing with my like old friends, like where we would wrap their kids' stuff like on the Christmas Eve, like we would come drink,
Go
and,
over
like,
and do that,
yeah,
yeah.
like, hang out because I feel like those are from Santa
Yeah.
Claus. You know,
My cousin one time did because my parents have been hosting Christmas Eve for a while, but we used to like rotate. But for a long time, it's been at my parents' house just because it's been the easiest house to do it at. But my cousin, before he was married and had a kid and stuff, he was there and he got drunk and stayed at our house on Christmas Eve. And he helped he was old. He was younger than me now, but he was probably in his 20s, I would say, and got drunk at Christmas Eve. So he just stayed at my parents' house, helped them wrap presents. And I'm here. Feel like he was still there when we got up for Christmas, and then he said bye, and then he said bye and left. Right. But my mom was like, "Yeah, I just remember her saying to me, my sister was pretty young, I think, still, but I remember her saying, yeah, I mean, he fell asleep at some point because of all the drink. But she was like, yeah, he was just up with us wrapping while we wrapped presents.
He walked outside. He's like, God damn it, my fucking head.
Yeah,
it was cool though.
Good for him. Funny. Yeah. Good job.
But they would. My point was though, they would write our initials on like before they would wrap the present, like especially if they were shirts or whatever, because we would ask for it. But as we got older, closer, like more into the same stuff, they would have to like shoes, shirts, sweaters, like they would mark them to make sure that it was going to the right kid before. And there were times though where we would make open a pile boxes
for each kid.
So I think they would, but then once they were like, just in case something got wrapped and like not labeled before it was set down, they would have like our initials somewhere.
I got you.
How did you guys feel like when you realized about Santa? Did we talk about this last week?
My grandmother was Santa, so I was okay with it. Because she got me all the best gifts. So I was just like, yeah.
So you know that old thing where it's like, you don't want to be the first kid to know that Santa's not real, and you don't want to be the last.
But you want to be that guy in between who's just like, yeah, I knew.
Yeah, so I was in the middle where I was like, I started to get, because I used to sleep on the couch. Remember when I was a kid?
To catch him.
I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to get it. But I'd wake up in bed and be like, how do I keep teleporting?
Wasn't that the best?
Yeah, dude.
There's
nothing like sleeping and being
honestly,
carried.
There's no way now somebody could move me while I'm sleeping and I'm not waking up. So it's crazy how hard we slept.
Yeah.
And people could move us.
I mean, we got pretty eggnogged. Sorry,
know.
pretty milk punched.
Pretty milk punched up.
Yeah, and you're pretty out there. Somebody might be able to move you.
All I'm gonna say is,
give it a little splash of that punch.
As a woman, I try not to get drunk to the point where I'm not gonna be.
You don't want to be carried around as a lady.
I am hoping that I'm gonna wake up.
But in your house,
that's good.
Whoa.
I don't know.
Take a Tums later.
It's a very small cup. I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah, but this is a lot of white liquid.
A lot of milk punch in there. God damn it. Hey, random question. Do you guys ever remember the toy Mr. Bucket?
Yeah.
I just had a very vivid memory of that, and it had to do with my dad playing Santa Claus one year at my uncle's house. So we always would go to my uncle's for like everybody do their own Christmas at home with each other. Then we would do like the family party there. And I just remember
ice is necessary.
I like it better with ice.
Yeah, ice is necessary. Necessary?
Garcon. Necessary.
I just remember, like, I think around that time I figured out Santa Claus wasn't real because my dad just left the party. And then Santa Claus comes in with his big bag of things. I'm like, where's my dad? He's missing this.
He's missing all of this.
He's not going to see what Santa.
The worst time. He shows up after Santa's done. Dad, my God, you have the worst timing.
But I just remember going
comes out of the bathroom like, oh boy.
Jesus.
Totally believe it. Believable.
Yeah, no, but
Dad, there goes Dad again.
I just remember going like, Dad, you're going to miss what Santa got me. And then the way he handed me the present, I went, Dad? You fucking motherfucker. There's no Santa. And I still opened it. And I was still like, "That's a good present."
I picked up on it when I started realizing that the handwriting was the same on
well, he's too busy. I got to write the cards for him.
On the labels.
Did you?
And I think at that point my mom probably could have, but I think
left hand that shit.
I think at that age, and we already, I had a sibling. It's not like they weren't going to have to keep. So I think at that point she was like, "Yeah."
Did your parents have special wrapping paper from
I actually don't remember.
Santa?
I don't remember the wrapping paper.
It always had. It was just a bunch of little Santas, and those were the ones from Santa.
I don't remember having different wrapping paper from Santa, but I mean, I would assume if you're gonna write the labels differently, ideally you would
have
but
to.
But because why would Santa even need labels? You know they're coming from Santa. He doesn't need labels.
Correct.
You're right.
So
I've seen now they do sell stickers that just say like Santa or like packed by elves. Like I've seen that's a cute little stuff.
As we got older, even with both my sister and I, obviously knowing at that point, like older, my parents would still write from Santa. We would also get presents from Frosty.
I still get
and Rudolph.
Santa.
You get Santa
and the pets would give us presents and stuff.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I will say one year my parents did do something really good, and this was like recently. They got a present for me and it had Santa Claus on it, and I'm opening it up and I'm, oh, look at this. Nice. Thanks, guys. And my dad and my mom look at each other like, we didn't get you that. Like literally. And they were just like, Did
I
you get him?
love that.
But like
That's
under their
cute.
breath to
Really
each other,
sold
they're
it.
like, "Did you get him?"
So they were
like,
really
holy shit.
selling that.
Magic.
Or they didn't get it for you.
Or they're just out there and they're just like, "Fuck, I guess we forgot about that one."
Maybe.
What do they always, what's the old joke? It's like when your dad's surprised what you get for Christmas.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
What'd you get there, bud?
That's
Oh,
what I
look at
was
that.
just gonna say. My uncle
We
used to
picked
have
out a
this
good
thing,
one for you.
like for birthdays and stuff. For years, my uncle would be like, we'd open it, and we'd be like, oh my gosh, and my uncle would be like, I picked that out. Because it was like a running joke that the dads did not know what presents were.
Right.
And my dad would, unless it was like an electronic, because my dad was very involved with picking those things. Like if they got us a camera or whatever, or a game, something. But a lot of times my dad would be like, oh, that's nice. Oh, yeah, we got that. That's right. But he'd be like, oh, that's really, and my mom would look at him and be like, it's like you're
That's
not.
a good one. I've read.
And
Are you here? I don't know.
And I know that a lot of time they would go shopping together.
Right.
But it's just the way that
It's the way the cookie crumbles.
his brain worked.
Yeah. So release date on this guy, and I do want to preface this with going back to my whole horror movie analogy here of if you're going to release a horror movie, release it around
horror time.
Halloween, right? This movie, November 20th, 1992.
That's right.
November
Right.
20th, it's good. Yeah.
That's right.
Right.
Because
It's
a lot of Christmas
Thanksgiving
movies were
breaks
around
coming up
Thanksgiving.
and,
Yeah, a lot of.
So you're not
and
going to release a Christmas movie in April.
a lot of the time.
So why would you release a horror movie not in
A
fucking...
lot of the time, that is when Thanksgiving is, because Thanksgiving is usually
last week. It's third
this,
last.
like
Second
and
last.
this week or this year it was really late.
Last, yeah.
It felt really late.
I did.
But usually it is like the 23rd, something like that. So that would have been.
Isn't
right
this
before
Friday the 13th?
Yep.
Yeah, this Friday.
It's a nightmare before Christmas, you could say.
Is anyone getting a tattoo or no?
Are we?
I'm going.
What are you
Just
getting?
curious. I don't know. Flash. 13 Flash. Like
Honestly,
that's,
I feel like
that's
you
a
don't.
13
I feel like you don't even think about that because
Flash.
it's December. Like I forgot that they even
Like,
places even
so
do
like
that.
they're-
Santa Claus.
So they're spooky. The one I'm thinking about getting is it's like Santa with a devil horn. And I was like, oh, that's cool. It's
Did
like
you get that pizza one?
no. So I got to show you my knee and my calf, but I'm going to do the pizza one next. I got my knee done, by the way. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah.
Ouchtown. Just kidding. I didn't
Ouchtown,
feel
bro.
a thing. Nothing cream. It was incredible.
I like it. Okay, box office that week. Top 10. Number 10, Pure Country. Yep,
Yeah.
Josh knows what he's doing. He's like, I
I
know
really,
my
and I get
job.
upset when I don't
92
know.
right there.
When I get
I feel
upset
like
when I
when
don't
it's
know.
when it's older, I don't get as upset because we were children. You know what I mean?
George
Strait?
was in a
Come on.
movie. Ooh, Kyle Chandler, I know him. Rory Calhoun with Molly McClure and Leslie Ann Warren. So I put those together. Weird, never heard
I
of
know
it.
that one.
Never heard of it.
I
7.1 on
did not
IMDb.
know- I
Yes.
did not know George
Checking
Strait
out.
was
Pure
ever
Country, George Strait.
That makes
Western
sense.
/ romance. That's right up my alley.
I want to say this is wrong, but number 9, Jennifer 8. That
Like
can't be
the
right.
number 8?
Yeah, that
or-
can't be right. Nope, that's right.
Oh, I know that guy. That's what's his name.
That's
Oh my God,
that's
did
Andy
you
Garcia.
think that's what's his name?
Uma Thurman, John
John
Malkovich,
Malkovich.
Lance Hendrickson, Kevin Conway. Wow, what is this movie?
What is this? What's the thing?
Michael
Where's the plot?
O'Neill.
I'm John Malkovich. A former
former-
Los Angeles homicide detective investigates a multiple murder case in San Diego. The only witness is a blind girl to whom he is immediately attracted.
Oh my!
You're so blind, I must be in those pants. What?
Well, maybe he likes. He
It's
was
Uma
like,
Thurman.
he was like, I can be as gross
is it?
as I want. And she'll never
Uma
see.
Thurman's
she
hot.
doesn't even know what I look like. I can do anything.
I saw when I went to the when Emily and I
she'll
went to
never
the
know.
Eras tour last year. We sat right behind the celebrity tent,
and I saw
she
John
was there
Malkovich.
Uma?
with
her
Maya
daughter?
Hawke
Yep.
Not John Malkovich.
and
Malkovich.
and Paul Rudd
Oh, nice.
was pressed.
Did he have a
What are you
beard?
laughing at?
You're like over
Was
there. I'm like
pressed.
focusing on her. I was like,
No, listen. We were in the 100s. We were
he wasn't at the Eras tour.
Why wouldn't he be?
we were the first section like from the floor, and so the
Yes.
tent was right here from where we were sitting. Uma Thurman,
Uma Thurman.
Maya Hawke.
Maya Hawke. Wouldn't it be Maya Thurman? Oh,
No,
you're
it's
right,
Hawke.
'cause it's Ethan.
Maya.
Oh, you look like Ethan Hawke. Sorry.
Paul Rudd, Paul Rudd,
Yes, Paul Rudd.
Bradley Cooper,
Brad Coop.
Miles
B. Coop.
Teller,
Not Miles T.
and his wife. There,
I thought
this
he
was
bisexual.
You can still have a wife.
You can.
Even
yeah.
if
I
you're
don't
gay, you
know.
can have a
Yeah,
wife.
that's.
Yeah,
Like
that
I'm going
looks
to
pretty-
Google it where he's like, yeah, he's gay.
And look at
It was, I was like,
There's just a G in
I
it.
was like, this is one of the. I was like, this is one of the best celebrity tents I've seen of like
didn't know that was
pictures
a
from
thing.
their
You go to- I
shows
was
and
gonna say,
stuff.
you see a lot of
No, but
celebrity
like
tents?
pictures. The only thing that would have made it better is if it would have been one of like the 6 ones that Ryan and Blake went to. I would have shit my pants if Ryan Reynolds had been there. I would have lost. I would have been like Taylor.
Well, you were
Brown.
wearing
The way
the-
you just dropped Ryan and Blake made it sound like you were on
We're
first name
friends.
terms.
We're friends.
Yeah, obviously they're friends.
Their okay. Their anniversary is the same as Carrick and I's. So like,
But you're not married, so
okay, Steve.
you're just
Like,
You guys
roommates.
are domestic partners by now, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, awesome.
What's that?
September 9th.
No, the domestic partnership.
Oh, literally, it's just if you've been living together for
No,
a
no,
long.
I know what that is. I'm saying when's that date?
Oh, I don't know.
You should find that one out because that would be way funnier
I don't know.
to celebrate.
Well, it's so
she
it-
wasn't picking up on that.
No, but it-
Partnership.
So the reason why is because
They make
it
a card for that, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
The reason why is because it depends. Like there are different. Like
It depends.
There are different.
Are you wearing?
Depends.
No, it depends
Sometimes
because there's different criteria for what you're
Check
classifying
your
it
pants.
for, like insurance,
twisted my
stuff
thumb.
like that. Like there's different criteria for what would classify you
Sorry.
as a domestic partnership.
Different criteria for the different types of.
Like if you're trying to be on the same insurance together, it could be you've been living together for at minimum a year. You share this many bills. There are
How many bills
certain-
do you share?
Actually, now I think only one.
So does like one person just pay everything, or do you guys like divvy it up?
No,
like,
we
hey, I
our-
have this
we
bill, you have
yeah,
this
we
bill.
have separate.
Right, because
stuff.
you're not married.
We have separate stuff.
Good. I'm married. I have separate stuff too.
Yeah, I'm a fan.
You ain't looking at mine.
I feel like my parents do too. I feel like my
Look at
parents
what I buy
will.
every day.
So I have no.
Like
I
one
have,
of them
what I
does the
buy.
mortgage, one of them does like
yeah,
utilities.
I have no problem
like,
with
stuff like that.
combining. Like we're going to pay this for the bills, but
Yeah,
guess
yeah, yeah.
what? You don't need to see my daily.
You don't want to know how many trips to Dunkin' I'm making every week.
I,
You
and
like-
I don't want to know what she's doing because that
Yeah,
makes
right.
me, I'm not a spender. I challenge myself not to swipe my card for like weeks at a time.
Yeah.
I'm like, but this doesn't include online. But like physically,
You're not swiping on.
yeah, I'm like, I'm not swiping.
Doesn't count.
Carrick and I are very much both.
Doesn't count.
If I want this, I'm just gonna go ahead and I'm
Yeah,
gonna buy
yeah.
it.
I'm very frugal, but I'm also, if I want something,
Oh yeah, yeah.
I am absolutely getting it. But I will debate about it for a week. I'll go do shit, and then when I buy it, I told you this before. Then I'll buy it. I'm like, I could have had this a week ago.
Yeah. Why the
You know-
fuck
well,
did I
you
do
know
this?
what's funny is when it's a
I've been
bigger
enjoying this for a week.
bigger purchase,
Yeah.
I will overthink
You
it,
stew
overthink
on
it,
it,
and may
yeah.
not do it. And Carrick will be like, "You've probably spent that much on Amazon in the last 2 months. Why not just?" And I'm like, "Cause it's at one time.
been the way of the
it's,
TV.
It's spending that money on
buy
one
one? No,
on
I
one
can't do it.
thing at one time."
Okay, I'll come with you.
I was like, but Carrick, but for that same amount of money over the last 2 months, I've bought this many things
many
instead of
things.
that amount of money on one thing that
all
will
of
be
this.
like at one time. But Carrick is the opposite. I'll buy a bunch of small stuff. Carrick will be like, I've just
big
dropped
purchases.
$7,000 on a brand new computer, like shit like that. Like,
The problem is, I have a hefty balance of both. Like, that's the real problem.
Touche,
no,
sir.
my pricey spending is like taking the dog to the fucking vet.
Oh no, get that out of here.
He had to
get
get
that shit outta
it's $1,200 last week
It's necessary though.
on one pet because he had to
you
get.
have multiple.
I have
3.
multiple. Well, but he had to. So he was getting. He had to get dental cleaning, and so they sedate them for that because they're in their mouths and stuff. But he had to get a tooth pulled too.
I was just thinking
I would've
about,
done it for
about a
$5.
dog going, ow. So stupid sometimes.
It's, well,
I can't deal with this.
well, the frustrating thing about having the dogs that I do
dog
have
okay? I don't know,
though is they're working dogs, so they won't show pain either.
Well, 'cause they're working.
They're
Locked-
working dogs.
locked
They
in.
push
Right.
through it. So I have to try to like, okay,
Hey,
this is
are you
probably
okay, puppy?
causing
You
a
all right?
problem. Like, cause you'll just my female dog, she hurt her leg one time. She literally held. It was one of her back legs. She literally just held it up and was like, "I'm a tripod now. Don't give a shit.
I don't need
throw,
it."
throw the fucking ball. Throw it."
Crazy.
She was
I
like,
don't need
"This
it."
leg is dead to me. If it's not serving the purpose I need it to serve, it's dead to me. Done. Remove
Well,
it."
that's the way their brains are
Remove
wired
it. I don't
too,
need
right?
it.
Like, yeah, it's wild.
And then I took her to the vet and she started walking on it. I was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?"
Oh, we're going there?
Yeah.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You know what? She put her down. Put her down. She seems, and then she'd be like, "Oh my god, it hurts so bad." Stop.
We're gonna have to cut it off. And she's like, no.
That's better. It's fine. It's fine.
Meanwhile, my youngest one, I swear, he could run into a wall and he's gonna be fine.
I mean,
He's just fucking
mental.
yeah. He's
like it.
chaos.
Back to the movies. Number 8. The Last of the Mohicans.
Jennifer 8. Oh, sorry.
That's a good one. Last Smokes.
Yeah, it was a movie.
This is.
Is that Jim Caviezel?
Because how old were we? 4.
No, it's
Daniel
Daniel
Day-Lewis.
Day-Lewis. Oh my
What a
god, I was
stud.
so wrong. 88 on Rotten Tomatoes.
Because we were 4, yes?
Madeline Stowe.
Yeah, 4.
This was November, so we were all 4 by this point.
Yeah.
We
I
were
wasn't
all
watching
for it.
this. I was watching Jurassic Park. That's for sure.
I was
Wait.
watching DuckTales.
Yeah, DuckTales.
Yeah. She's like, yeah, you're right. Me too. Yeah.
DuckTales.
Speaking of DuckTales, number 7, The Mighty Ducks.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah.
Look at
Definitely
that.
watching
Without
that.
even knowing you made the DuckTales.
Emilio!
Or did you know?
I definitely looked
That's
at
not
that, and
fair.
my brain connected.
Nothing
know
like getting a DUI.
Nothing like
And then your
and then
punishment is to coach kids that are not good at hockey and
Yep.
you make them great at hockey.
and that's the rest of your life.
the rest of your life.
And then you
Also-
become an awesome lawyer and
Also,
like lawyer.
such an unrealistic outcome.
Is it though?
Yeah.
Is it though?
Thanks to Wally last week, I had the Darkwing Duck thing song stuck in my head.
Nice.
The rest of that night and into
Nothing
the
wrong
next
with
day.
that.
Oh, okay. So he's a lawyer before, a Minnesota lawyer.
I got a question for you
Darkwing
guys. I just randomly, because it was on Steve TV, watched some of the Ladybugs. You guys remember that
Oh my
movie?
God. I just watched it the other day on Plex.
There you go.
Rodney Dangerfield.
Dude, I got no respect. And then he finally got respect at the end.
Yeah.
My question is, what was the whole sports kids movie movement in the early 90s, and where did that go?
Yeah.
Think about it. You got Sandlot, Ladybugs, Mighty Ducks, Big Green.
Yep.
Fucking, what
Well, I
was
feel like,
the
that was our era. Like, that's what we did.
Rookie
We-
of the Year?
We played
Shit,
sports
Mary Kate and
outside.
Ashley Olsen had a soccer movie.
Yeah, exactly. But like, they're not making
The
that
Disney
type
movies even. The Disney movies, they had that basketball one with the
Air Bud.
the
Double Team?
girls, the Airbud movie.
Double
That's
Team?
not.
Have you ever? No.
Well,
Have you ever
Does
seen the
that-
guy
does that
driving
count?
his son home? Like,
He's like, you lost to a dog. Couldn't even tackle a dog. Air Bud Golden
so
Retriever.
good. It's
We
so
just
good.
lost 28-7 to a dog. Or how about the monkey on ice? That
MVP.
You mean to tell me this guy went top cheese on you?
how are you gonna stop anything but the monkey?
You
Like,
just-
think about it.
One
Like,
slash.
If a monkey is on
my
skates
God.
and it's skating towards me, I'm just gonna be like, hey man.
Yeah.
game
Also,
over.
number one, I
You
keep
win.
Let him
my
go.
distance
Let him go.
from monkeys.
Right.
And
You don't
now
know what
you're
they're
giving
gonna
that monkey a weapon.
Do you know how much damage?
Two weapons.
Dude,
Do you know how much damage that monkey could do to me without a weapon?
they go for soft tissue.
They
That's what I'm saying.
literally
And
rip
now he's
off
got two
fingers.
knives on his feet.
They rip your eyes and your fingers and your skin.
know
I'm
it.
not going after him. Are you
They
kidding?
know how to maim you. It's not
The
even about killing
amount
you.
of padding will not protect me from that monkey. Are you kidding?
I'm not here for it.
I'm not about it.
You know what it's like? This is why I don't like cats.
The
I was
dog,
attacked by
sure.
a cat. A cat was what, 7, 8, 9, 10 pounds. A fat one's what, 15?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna.
Sure.
I mean, I'm not gonna
You know
tackle
how hard
the
it is
dog.
to get a cat off you when
Hard.
it's aggro
And when their claws are-
Aggro. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, what I hate when a cat does the
Just
when
go
it
crazy,
when it's
yeah.
like, oh, this is a nice cat, and it's just like, ha! You're like,
Yep.
They're like
Please get
bipolar.
the
The
cat.
cats.
Because it goes in you
oh yeah.
deep and
Well,
it ain't coming out easy.
And cats, I mean, not just house cats, but predator cats. The way that they attack
Predator
them, they hold
cats.
them and they use their back legs. So, like when I would
like
play
that.
with my cat, she would have when she was
Predator
younger,
cats.
she'd have my arm in her paws, and then her back legs would go, and I'm just like, oh god, I hate it.
Yeah.
Right in the wall. Wham!
But I also don't like declawing either. So like I just deal with it. Just
Number
look, it keeps. That's what happens. I keep moving it, and then it starts like.
6.
That's stick drift.
Yeah. I think it's because it's on the table. So then you got to bend it in the middle.
No,
there.
because look, it's going back to the table. When I lifted it up, it fell back down.
Hydraulics.
Anyways, number 6, Under Siege.
You know what? Next time, just make her hold it.
I might.
We were talking about earlier.
You just got to hold the mic.
I mean, I'm used to that.
Oh, you are. Damn it.
I'll just get a Britney Spears mic.
Oh,
Ooh.
not Jean-Claude. What's the other fix?
That's
We'll just
Steven
all
Seagal.
get gaming
We could, yes.
headphones
we
with the
definitely could.
microphone right here.
You can get that for us for Christmas. I've spent enough in this.
Oh, Tommy Lee Jones is in this too.
Yeah,
Nice.
the biggest thing that any young kid remembers of this movie is Eric Eleniak.
I literally just remember Steven Seagal going around on this sub.
Oh yeah, I didn't. Well, this is
They're
sad.
not
I
sub.
didn't
Is it a
recognize her
sub?
here, but now I know who she is.
Is it a sub?
It's a sub.
Yeah, going around being
Do not Google that.
I don't
mean,
really
if you're at home, do it, but don't do it here. There's a scene that's very famous with her.
Oh.
It's a good scene.
She pointed to her boobies.
She did.
I don't like this list of.
Number 5, A River Runs Through It.
Man, this is other than the Mighty Ducks. This is underwhelming.
Kind of is.
Wing duck.
Is that Brad Pitt?
Yeah,
Is that
Look at Young Pitt.
Craig Schaefer? Don't even know. Tom Skerritt.
you know Craig Schaefer, and you've seen him and stuff for sure.
Doesn't look like it there, but Tom Skerritt for sure. I like it.
Two sons of a stern minister, one reserved, one rebellious.
I don't like it.
Grew up in the rural 1920s of Montana.
Sounds like a movie I'm never gonna watch.
Yeah, sounds like a...
Number 4, another movie I'm never gonna watch. Passenger 57.
What? You don't like that?
Don't even know what it is.
Oh, come
it's
on.
Wesley Snipes. Oh shit, maybe I'm in.
Yeah, this is a hostage
son of
on
a
the
bitch.
plane.
Maybe I'm in.
Son of a bitch, I'm
Let me
in.
read this.
Bruce Payne. Oh, fucking Tom Sizemore.
Directed by hold on. An airline security expert. Yeah, he's like a airplane cop.
Ooh, okay.
When he finds himself trapped on a passenger jet when terrorists seize control.
I might be in.
Yeah,
I might be in.
It's pretty good. It's
I like a
prime-
good Wesley Snipes 90s action.
It's prime Wesley.
Yeah. Okay. Top 3 that week, no particular order. Then you guys got to guess them. Home Alone 2, Bram Stoker's Dracula,
Ooh,
Malcolm X.
it's a tough top 3.
Could be.
Do you know when?
No.
You,
No.
We don't do that here anymore. Because I forget about it.
I'm gonna say. Why is it's the end of November? Okay, I'm gonna say
Starting to get some indigestion. Oh, no.
Home Alone 2, Malcolm X,
Damn,
Dracula.
milk punch. Home Alone 2, number 1, you're going.
Because
Dracula.
time of year. No.
Oh.
Then
Malcolm X, then
then,
Dracula.
yeah.
Okay.
I'm trying to go based
I
off.
feel like Dracula's post. This is a little too post-Halloween.
I feel like Dracula's probably been out
Yeah.
just because you wouldn't have it come out
True.
after
Yes.
too long after
Yes.
Halloween. So I feel
Or
like
come out in April.
so I feel like I'm trying to think of
Apparently.
time of year.
Yeah.
And when these
Yeah,
movies
yeah.
probably
Yep,
came
yep,
out.
yep,
So that's
yeah.
why I'm doing that.
Are you going with that too?
Yeah, Home Alone 2, X, and then...
Dracula. It is number 1, Home Alone 2. Number 2, Bram Stoker's Dracula. Number 3, Malcolm X.
Interesting.
Really. Budget time. What do we think?
Malcolm X was Denzel Washington, right?
Really, really
Yes.
ridiculously good looking. Yes.
Yes, it was. Needs to be at least.
Now get this crowd
3
to
times.
disperse. 3 hours and 22 minutes.
God
Let's talk about
damn.
that.
I'm good.
Holy movie.
I'm
That's
good.
2 movies.
That's
Yes.
so long.
That's a mini series.
Yeah.
I don't need to do that.
Yeah, because that's longer than Oppenheimer and everything.
It is.
Spike
How
Lee.
long is Titanic? I just remember it needed 2 VHS.
324.
Yeah, take a guess. Definitely needed 2.
It needed to, I'm gonna say 247.
247?
Yeah,
I'm going. It's gotta be over 3.
no, I think it was under 3 still. I think it was just because of the time frame. There were two DVD or 2 VHS.
I know on TV, it's like a 3-hour day. Like if you're watching Titanic on TBS,
Yeah, 'cause
you're
you
not
get all
moving
the-
for 3.5 hours.
commercials.
You getting all them commercials.
I'm gonna 305.
You have to spell it.
305.
I feel like.
No, I don't because look,
Titanic 2.
Titanic 2. There's the Titanic rises.
Here, I'll watch it.
Who did this again?
315. I
Wow.
said 305. Would you say 3?
20 something.
7. I don't know.
I'll take the dub.
Yeah, I would.
Look at young Jack. Look at that.
Killing
It's cold in here. Sorry.
out here.
Unless
Budget-
he's in the water, he might have been in.
That's what I'm saying,
in
out here.
in the water.
In the water. It's cold outside though.
You know what's crazy? Is
Cold
people pull and plunge for
outside.
fun.
I know, but they don't stay in it for fucking.
The first pull.
Well, yeah. Oh Jesus! Do you think he could fit?
I'm here all week.
You think he can fit on that fucking door?
Well, here's the thing.
Buoyancy.
You can fit, but is it going to float you?
The whole time.
That's the real
steadily.
talk.
Mythbusters did it, and
Because
yes,
not only could
it
you,
wouldn't work.
not only could if you got on it, you'd have to be like the
Well, have you ever climbed on
correct
anything?
right balance
Yes.
for it to not tip at all.
Let's say, have you ever tried to climb on a raft in general?
Oh,
Yeah.
When you can't touch the bottom?
Yeah,
Not good.
Very hard.
Yes.
very hard.
Now they could have doggy paddled
See, that's
to the
what
other
I was
boats.
wondering. Yeah, that's what I was like.
But you think those people on those boats are just like, yeah, I'll
they
save
don't
you?
let you.
I don't know. I was as mad as
Probably. Let's be
mad
real.
as the guy was because when they were like, "You're
Well, what
sending boats
sucks is-
away when you could fit another 20 people on some of these
Yeah.
boats. Like,
Well,
what
the
are you
boats
doing?"
Well, they had to disperse because of that negative. What is it? I don't know the pressure difference, but basically it made its own current.
Yeah, it was
pulling
gonna
the boat
suck in-
down.
suck
Yeah.
So I'm talking
down.
about before that because
Oh,
the
yes.
guy came around and he was like, "You can
loads,
fit twice as many people. What are you doing? Like we've made them so you can fit more people on them, and you're sending them away."
It's the rich whites.
Them what? Well, they never thought that they were ever going to use them anyways. So
Right.
they
It
were
weren't
designed.
It was
Correct.
unsinkable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Never make something say
let's,
on anything
let's,
if it's going to sink.
let's cruise through icebergs because that was the smarter thing, anyways.
Whose fault was it? It was the
Weather.
captain. It had to be the captain's, right?
I mean, I was a spotter.
Nature.
I mean,
Or the spotter, yeah.
Well, yeah, they weren't paying attention.
But it's also dead nuts night.
Oh, but you know what? It was Jack and Rose's because that's why they weren't paying attention. They were watching them.
They're watching them fucking dance on the thing. Hey guys, I'm working here.
So really,
She did it to himself. It's Rose's fault.
wow.
If she didn't.
All starts with the woman.
If she didn't want to try to, have a little affair because, let's be real, Billy Zane was too hot for her, and she was just like, I can't have
You think
this.
Billy was settling?
Yeah,
Get the fuck out of here.
Billy Zane's
Oh,
like.
she's a redhead. I
I mean, I'm not saying.
and she had curly hair.
I'm not saying she's not a pretty person.
Also, we
All
saw her
I'm
naked.
saying
We
is,
saw her naked. There was nothing wrong going on there.
I didn't say that, but also Billy Zane's just like, hey, what's up?
How much of a C word was her mother?
A
Big,
big one.
big one.
But
Big,
here's
big,
here's the thing.
Big, old
big,
fat
big,
C.
But here's the thing.
Biggin.
She wasn't pleasant.
No.
And he was still fighting for her, so she was the prize.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on.
the thing. I'd have
She
been
was
like-
the prize.
At one point, I'm Billy fucking Zane.
That's what
I
I'm
mean,
saying.
but you aren't.
But I could
In
be.
this case, you're not.
But what I'd be like, you know what? Go.
Exactly. I can find something.
Go.
I'm good. I'm
I
Billy
think at
Zane.
that, so
Have you seen these?
and here's the thing, he fought for her the whole time.
like
He
this
was
lifestyle?
like, oh my god, like, but
I'll find
he
somebody.
also at the same time was like, get your shit together.
Who he was to her?
Yeah, like
Well, yeah,
if she was being like, if she was asking certain questions, he'd be like, don't do that.
So her
But
mother.
also
outta
like,
here.
hold
Like-
on, it's the times though.
Correct.
Women are. I mean, I'm not saying it's not. It's right, but women are supposed to be proper
What
and
I'm
etiquette and
saying-
whatever.
No.
We're watching a movie that's made to make it look
I
like,
agree.
you cannot be like
I
that.
hear you on that. What I'm saying is
Billy Zane's just like, hey.
And also-
Just
no,
be like
but that's
everyone
what I'm
else.
saying is as many times as he was unhappy with something she did or something she said, he was the one who's still chasing her.
Right, Billy Zane is not the
And-
evil guy in this movie. She
and
is.
she's dragging around her mom because her mom's broke.
Right.
She wants to live the life.
Yeah.
Because her husband.
Her mom is basically like, you just need to put up with him because I need
exactly.
to survive.
Exactly. Which
Okay,
makes
so the
sense because
mom
how
is the
overbearing
villain.
were mothers back then.
Oh, very overbearing.
Mm-hmm.
Because they needed the money. Speaking of money, budget time. What do we think it costs to make Home Alone 2?
Oh my God. They had to rent airplanes.
They also needed to pay Christopher Columbus
Yeah.
and all those ships, apparently.
He could just pay him in corn.
You probably could. And maize is what they would call it back then.
Needs ice. Bad.
Yeah, I don't like it as much with that. Well, I mean, I guess if you had taken it right from the fridge, it wouldn't be it, but I still prefer it with
All right, so noted. I will get an ice
I was
bucket.
getting ready to say.
Tara,
We'll go on Amazon.
Christmas is coming. Ice bucket.
Look, we'll go on Amazon. I'll get you one on those one nice, like the rabbit ice.
ice
Ooh,
buckets,
an ice maker
ice
right
buckets,
here.
gamer headphones. What else?
Make it happen.
Just when you thought you were done.
Nope.
It's never done.
Never done.
What are we thinking?
What are we thinking? What are we?
This is
much?
92, so I feel like 20 mil goes a far way.
It does.
Large cast.
There is
But not a lot of
people-
high rollers. Not a lot
I mean,
of high
Catherine
rollers.
O'Hara, she was.
I said
Only,
not a
fr-
lot
only
of high
from the
rollers.
first movie, and then you got to think. I
Joe
mean,
Pesci was in demand.
Joe Pesci definitely. Macaulay Culkin would have gotten.
I would think on the second
At least
movie.
a raise.
I was going to say I would
I
think.
hope so.
I would
Yeah.
think maybe in the
Nah,
second
kid,
movie.
just fucking.
In the second
we'll pay
movie,
your
they
parents.
probably got bumps because it's a sequel,
great.
and the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one did well. So they're like, okay.
It did unbelievable.
I'm gonna say I think 20 is a good. Honestly, in the 90s, I feel like no one's making more than. I don't know, maybe two.
It's so hard, the old ones.
I mean, nowadays
hard.
people are getting paid over 10 million for movies, but I
Right.
think back then
More than that,
they're
yeah.
not making that.
There's no
so
CGI.
Right. You'd be surprised.
Well, I forgot the electrocution scene, which
Right.
is one of my favorite things in the world.
they probably could have gotten honestly as a kid, they probably could have gotten even in a sequel probably could have gotten Culkin cheaper than the adult actors.
Maybe. Quite possibly.
You know what? I'm actually going to go higher because I think I think more going on in the second one, more people they had to pay in the second one. I mean, think about the hotel staff.
They got to pay
all-
Trump.
all
you know
those
he ain't
people,
doing
like-
that for free.
Yeah, geez.
That's I'm
Listen,
thinking.
art of the deal. I'll
gonna
only be in it.
I'm going to say
Give me one of those talk boys. I mean,
30.
30 million. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to say 30.
I like that number. I like that number.
Nice round.
I'm going
30.
to go 27. I'm just
27.
A little higher, a little lower.
Okay. I guessed 25.
Wow.
Okay, so
Look
we're
at
all
us.
right. So
Look at
we're yeah.
us. Are you ready? Because I want to say something before getting into this. This may be the closest ever we've all gotten to the
It's
actual.
26.5.
It is 28
Wow. I said 27.
And I said 30, and you're 25. I mean, we were all right in there.
I don't think it's
I'm
ever
getting better.
been.
Remember how bad
you
this
get
used to
good.
be? I used to hate this part because I'd be so
370 million.
for like this type of movie, and Josh is like, I don't at 120.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
what it-
It's Avengers.
we're
I'm
like,
$5
Josh,
million.
Josh, it cost $20 to make this movie.
It's hard. It's really
175.
it's weird
They
to
did
think about
not
though.
make their money back.
If you don't know, it's hard to figure it out.
Yeah.
Think about it, because like, oh yeah, CG, I fucking $20 million just to do that
You're
one
like,
scene.
no way.
Well, and it's also different the longer you're on this when you do think about what decade it was made in,
yeah.
like what these actors were doing, what they weren't doing, like stuff like that more than when you're first on it and you're just like, I don't know. There was a lot of explosions.
There was a lot of
like you have to
explosions.
think of so many different elements when you're trying to like.
27 million and 92 value today. I'm gonna say 50.
I was going to say 67.
Okay, around there probably. Be careful. The last time I did this, it gave me like 19. Okay, 19.
You said
27.
That's really
that says
that's
270,000.
Okay, let him do him. He'll figure it out. He'll calculate. We got it. Oh wait.
That's that's too many zeros. Yeah, that's way too many
That's
zeros.
207 million.
That's 270 million.
Right.
60, 60 million.
About 60.
Look at
What's
you.
that, 67?
Almost 61.
Inflation.
Jesus.
What do we think it cost to, or sorry, what do you think it made in box office overall? This is a sequel to a very big movie.
I'm going 83
million.
Swear to God, I was
You're
gonna
gonna say
I was
80.
gonna say 82.
I could sense it.
I was gonna say 82.
That's why I said I'm going to say it before you do.
I'm gonna say now that he has said 83, I'm gonna say 92.
Oh.
I still like the
92.
2 for some reason, but
Speaking of two, I guess
Number 2.
250 million.
whoa.
I mean, the first movie made a lot of money.
Yeah,
Did it?
but it's
See,
a,
I didn't
but
know.
it's a sequel. You never know.
It's a sequel to a movie that made a lot of money, so a lot of people are going to go see it. Opening weekend, it made $31.1 million.
Nice.
Oh my God, they made their
Overall,
money back in one weekend.
it made $359 million.
They hit the
No wonder he went crazy in the middle of his life and was like, I don't need to act anymore.
Right.
Yeah, well, I don't
No
think
wonder
it was
why
just
they
that.
went, we need to make 7.
Yeah,
And they did.
they did.
They did not make their money on those.
I'm
telling
The
you.
third one,
I was gonna
maybe.
say-
Were they even in the theaters?
The third one was,
Yeah.
and then the next two, I believe,
They
were
weren't
Disney.
straight to DVD.
There were 5
Disney
of them?
Yeah. There's Home Alone 5.
I didn't even know there was a 4th one until today.
There was another one that came
So-
out
What's his kid's
recently.
name? Alex D. Linz.
Oh my God.
ScarJo's in this. He's his sister.
Yeah, you didn't know
Forgot
that. I
about
remember
that.
that. Look at him today. Go back down for a little bit. What the hell is that?
Jesus Christ. What am I looking at? Him today?
Oh my God. Oh my God.
He
Not a
still
good
looks
look.
like a child.
Yeah.
He doesn't actually even look the same.
No. He does not.
That's weird.
Yeah. The fifth
I can't
movie.
believe ScarJo was in it.
Oh, maybe this is more up to date.
Yeah. Yeah. Good for him.
Yeah, that
looks the
makes
same.
more sense. He doesn't even look. Even when you compare those two
He's-
pictures, he
he's
barely
35,
looks.
so
He barely
he's-
looks like the.
He's the same age as us. I don't
He's a
like this.
cutie.
Call him.
No,
He might
his
have-
eyes don't even look the same color in some of those pictures.
It might not be. They might have changed them for the movie. You don't know that. Yeah, this kid looks better with brown eyes for the demographics. Give it to him.
How weird is that? Yeah.
CGI them through the whole movie. Just do it. Those things happen. Think about this.
These things happen.
Well, so in The Hangover, the first Hangover movie, when they did the Mike Tyson whatever
Oh yeah, they had
thing,
to go and correct
they had to
it.
go and change it because Mike Tyson sued them.
Right.
Which is weird because he was in the movie.
Exactly.
Like it's
And
not
he had
like
to
what
have
are you
seen it,
bitching? What are
correct?
you bitching about?
Sorry, it wasn't Mike Tyson. It was Mike Tyson's tattoo artist that did it.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
because-
it's not.
That
that's-
makes more
See, we've been
sense,
down the
but,
show
like,
before the
that's
whole
so-
tattoo thing. It's not I paid for it or he paid. It's his.
Yeah.
Or
There's-
it's just on. That's flash on the wall.
Right. There's something to be said about that too. So like let's look at wrestling video games, right? And
Mm-hmm.
you have wrestlers that have some pretty significant tattoos.
Right.
They can't be in the video game because you have to pay the artist to
He
put them
already
in the
paid
video.
the artist though.
That's kind of wild to me.
He already got payment.
I get it, right? But it's their art
would I be
on
mad?
somebody's body.
Would I be mad?
I'd be like, just as long as you credit me.
I
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Put my
Okay,
name
so
in there.
I can,
Right.
I can tell you if I was a tattoo artist and someone came to me with a picture of someone else's tattoo and was like, I want this, I would be like, I'm changing it.
Yeah, you have to.
yeah.
Yeah, like I'm not doing somebody else's concept, somebody else's tattoo.
Let's look at it in the same way.
But I feel like for a movie, that was clearly he got wasted and got Mike Tyson's tattoo. Like it's not like they got a tattoo and they were trying to pass it off as something else. He literally got the Mike Tyson tattoo.
So if
I feel like he shouldn't have won that.
if I use a song in a movie, I have to pay them for that song.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Isn't that the same thing?
No, that feels different to me.
Why?
Because and to me, that's different.
I'm an artist doing art.
Correct, it's art. I
And
do
you
like
want to use it?
No, but what I mean is
I think the
were
only
using it with Mike Tyson also in the movie as Mike Tyson's tattoo. They weren't using it and not even referencing.
Yeah. I get
like,
that.
it at all.
I think the difference is the joke is the tattoo.
Correct.
Whereas in the video games and stuff, you're just portraying that person's likeness. So that shouldn't matter. I think in The Hangover, okay, maybe pay that guy because we're making the butt of the joke that he's got the same tattoo.
Right.
So
But wouldn't
you
that
are
be on
staring
Mike
at it.
Tyson? That's the joke about Mike Tyson, not about the tattoo artist.
I also are
No one's
but-
clowning the artist. You're like, why did you get that? The
Are
artist
you-
is like, I'm trying to make a buck. You want it on your face?
That's
Whatever
well,
the fuck
that's
you
more
want.
my thing. But am I suing for that? You know, like that
I get it.
far?
I get what you're
Am I going
saying,
that
yeah.
far
If
to
you're-
sue?
Maybe if things aren't going that great.
Yeah,
maybe
you're
it's
right.
time to do a little lawsuit.
You're right.
Because
Maybe all
how
it takes
old is
one
he now?
sly friend to be
Do
like,
you
hey,
think?
man.
Which person?
The tattoo artist, based on
How old is
when
Mike Tyson?
he did that tattoo on Tyson, like based on like
50s,
what do you,
60s?
how old do you think he is now?
We don't know.
Do you think he's still tattooing?
He could have been 10 when he did it.
So like
Imagine a child.
I mean, it could be. It could have easily just
in
been
Taiwan just
child.
tattooing.
A child.
that they had
What you
a-
want?
a
What you want?
child.
A child.
Child.
That's not thinking.
No.
You got it. No.
No.
It's only one thing worse. A child.
Child. No.
Show them a time. Rotten Tomatoes score. What do we think? Critics and audience out of 100% gave Home Alone 2. This might
40.
be a little harder than you think.
Oh, no.
40 critics.
Audience?
Yes.
40-40.
No.
No.
67.
67.
I'm going 51
51.
crits.
Yep.
Crits.
Going a little higher. I'm going on the. I want to go
Crits.
70s.
I
Okay.
don't like that for whatever reason.
Crits.
It sounds like it should mean something else, and I don't like that.
I don't know. I wasn't. There's no double. There's no
Double entendre.
no innuendo.
Ooh. So you're going
51-73.
51-73. I went 65-75.
Okay.
Oh, okay. So maybe I'm. Maybe people liked
Why-
it more than I thought.
I think people
Stop.
loved it.
I don't know, Steve. We think that you know more than us.
I don't.
Okay,
I'm just
So
making guesses. I
When
literally.
you say things, sometimes I think it's probably right
Oh, well, okay.
because you've been
I'll
doing the
take it.
podcast
I'll take
longer
it.
than me. Maybe you
I'll take it.
like. I don't know.
Critics 35.
Yeah, I almost said 33. Son of a bitch. I almost said 33.
Audience 62.
Okay. Still pretty low on both for me.
Listen,
62.
though.
Listen, Linda.
Less than IMDb 6.9.
And 9.
9. Okay.
I'm a little disappointed.
Little. I mean, we'll see how
I take
disappointed you
All
are.
offense. Is
No, I feel.
that your
She
foot?
feels good.
It is. Yeah. Sorry.
It's footing.
I just had to put my leg back. I pulled my
I
quad, so I just
don't
got
know,
to pull
was
it back in
spinning.
time.
I mean, I was spun this way, so I need to do something.
IMDb
I'm
top and lowest
spinning.
review time. Top from Riff Raff McKinley.
How was run then?
November 2006 writes, maybe a sequel to a movie like Home Alone wasn't the brightest idea Hollywood has ever produced, but the result is really something to see. Sure, it's extraordinarily unlikely that a family would lose their child on vacation not long after they abandoned him at home in the original. Nonetheless, Lost in New York is certainly better than Home Alone 3, a stupid spy story not even stomachable. Macaulay Culkin is in peak form as the abandoned Kevin. Tim Curry, Dana Ivey, and Rob Schneider are wonderful, idiotic as the bumbling hotel employees who catch on to the fact that Kevin is really alone, and Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern rule the face of the planet once again as the Wet Bandits, the worst criminals in history. People tend to run this movie down for being predictable and mindless, but if you remove the fact that the kid was in a similar situation before, it actually makes for a fantastic Christmas entertainment movie. 10 out of 10.
Decently put.
I figured out why I used to stumble over words. I'd make it too big so I couldn't read the next word.
So you like to be ahead.
Yeah. So I made it smaller and now I can read better. Look at that.
When you were in
Thank you.
school,
Yes.
And
Which was a Wednesday.
people were taking turns reading.
Oh, you counted
Would you
ahead?
count
Yeah.
figuring out when you would read and read ahead to make sure you like?
Do you know I just had to
on it.
explain to my parents today, or not today, but like.
And how
over
mad would you
Thanksgiving?
be if you still messed up?
Oh, the worst.
You know what I mean? Because you read ahead,
You know
you
what's funny?
figured it out.
The worst
You
part.
had-
or
in
you
this class.
counted wrong.
Wait,
No. Somebody gets up
Quick
and goes
story.
to the bathroom and
Oh.
fucks
And
up
you're
the.
wrong, and you're like, no.
Yeah, right.
quick story. I'll never forget reading out loud in Old St. Pete's.
Mm-hmm.
I know who did it. I won't say his name. I'll tell you after. I'll never forget the one word in this book. I died because the word was homie, and he said homie. And
Homie.
for whatever reason, it
We
took
doing homie?
me out. Do you remember who said it?
I don't remember
my
this
God.
at
I know
all.
you're in the class. I know you're in my
don't
class.
remember this at all.
But
well,
I'll
we only
never-
had 2 classes.
Yeah, facts.
This wasn't high school
It
where
was
you
either
had
that one or
7
this
maths. There were 30 kids in our class. So yeah, there
Get
were
in
only
line
2
to walk to
classes.
class, Steve. That's what we did. It was fucking terrible.
You had to be in line to go to class. And then in 8th grade, get out of the, well, not you, but we had to go outside the classroom, kneel on the ground, measure our skirts from the ground.
I got in trouble
Every
for
day?
my shorts being too low.
Not every day.
Isn't that
Just
crazy?
random.
They would do it randomly.
Fingers down.
Random skirt check.
They would do it randomly, and then they would give out demerits
So
if your skirt was too high. And I got written up because my skirt was higher in the back than it was in the front.
I'm sorry.
And literally, my mom called. I was in the car when I did not, and I did not like being present for this. But my mom called, and she had. Who was the vice principal? Because it wasn't
I can't remember
DeLuca.
the vice.
It was
I
the
remember
vice,
DeLuca.
not DeLuca, but the vice principal. And she had them on the phone, and she was like, "I'm sorry that my daughter was blessed with a bubble butt, and the back was shorter." And I was like, "But then, you know what happened? She still altered my later. She still altered my skirt so that it was this." I was like, "Now it just looks silly because if it is when I'm standing perfectly still, it all, but otherwise." It's gonna look. If
It's
you took
just
it off,
ridiculous.
it was gonna be
I was
different.
a husky boy.
Oh, the hell's
And you know, men's hips are different than women's hips.
Yeah, I
so I
don't-
would wear my shorts around my waist, not my hips.
Me too.
And Miss Cook would make me wear my shorts around my hips, which was
like the
around
fit.
yeah, like
Because then
dude,
they'd be shorter.
Lieutenant Dan.
Yeah.
My
Yeah,
shorts
yeah.
went right to Lieutenant Dan shorts. Like, and I was like, this is uncomfortable. I have to sit down like this in
No,
class.
this ain't happening.
Honestly, the girls in the grades under us were worse about their skirts. Like they were straight, like rolling them 3 times.
Yeah.
Like
But I will say,
And everything, but-
did you go to private school at all?
So in Canada, it's a little bit different. Private school is actually public school.
Okay.
So like Catholic school is public school,
okay.
but there's also non-Catholic public schools,
Right.
so you can choose where to send your kids. So essentially,
Do
yes,
they have
I
uniforms?
but you didn't have uniforms.
depended on the grade, but when I was there, no. But then when I left, they did. So
you-
they would have been.
Sorry, completely off topic. Did you struggle going to Stone, having to buy clothes?
I think it.
I wore the
think
same
it
thing
is. I
every
think-
day for 9 years.
I know. So
Blue
the
pants,
same- yeah.
white
I
shirt.
actually-
But the
so-
Winter was a
same-
tie,
Okay.
and then summer was the polos. And it was blue shorts or blue pants, white shirt, tie, or a short
and
sleeve
your
polo.
and your socks had to be the right color
Yep.
too,
Yeah,
and
well,
shoes.
well, yeah, remember
in the
those
in the
weird-
last
those
few
weird private
years,
school stores?
in the last few years, they
Yeah, I know.
changed the shoes.
You can only go to that store to
yeah.
get
Remember
the other
that?
fit.
The
Yeah,
kids.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
In the last few years, they changed the shoes. Like for
Mm-hmm.
most of the time we were there, it was the same shoe that you had to wear every year. And then in the last few years, they changed them to be different shoes, but you could wear different ones.
I will say, I am pro uniform because I didn't have to think about a fucking thing.
Right.
I'm not pro uniform because of what I was getting. When you said like getting into high school and struggling to like, so when I was in college in communication class, you had to do a certain amount of presentations
Presentation.
in different levels of arguments, and one of them was a persuasive speech or whatever that you had to give, or comparison or whatever. And
Persuasive.
I did just because I had experience in both
Yeah.
like not situations, but both like
I get it.
arenas. I did private school versus sending your kids to private school versus public school. And one of my arguments was that once you get to if you get, let's say you still went all through high school, or let's say you didn't and you switched. Either way, whether it's after high school when you go to college or when you go to high school, you can have an identity struggle.
Oh, I did, yeah,
because
for
you
sure.
don't know who you don't know who you are. You are going to school trying to figure out what you're supposed to be wearing, and kids who have been doing it the whole time are cruel too, because they're like, "What the fuck are you wearing?" Like they've already figured it out.
I
They
didn't know
figured it out
brands. I
before
didn't know
high
what
school.
brands were.
No, like
What are brands?
like
I had no clue. I was like, Reebok?
well, and
Labak.
even on the days where like we would have the
Not
what was it called? I don't remember what they were called, but it was the days where you could wear casual clothes.
Oh, yeah, we used to pay
Casual
to do that.
Fridays, I think they call
Yeah,
it.
but they weren't on Friday. They weren't
It was
always
like
on
Wednesday.
Fridays.
They were on Wednesdays.
But they were
Casual
called
Wednesdays.
something.
Yeah.
Wait, you said you had to pay for that?
Yeah, $2.
Not always.
I
No,
just
but
wear the regular shit. Fuck
Yeah,
you,
but
I
it's just
ain't
how they
giving
raise
$2.
money for the thing.
It was, but there were some people that like they would forget and they would come to school in their uniform and then be so pissed. They'd be
Yeah.
like, "Oh my god, you're
I'd
telling me
still
I
wear it.
could have worn
didn't
something
have.
different."
Right, I don't got clothes.
But even
This is the only clothes I got because you're making me wear them.
Then, because even
Right.
even on uniform days,
I don't go out after this.
You couldn't, girls, like when you're getting to like 7th, 8th grade and you're starting to
What do you
experience,
expect from me? You give me all this fucking homework?
you're like experimenting with hairstyles or like,
You know, kids don't have homework nowadays.
love that for them.
It's been like that for like the last 10 years. I found out about this the other day from Wally and my brother.
I mean, look, I had homework, but did I do it at home?
No.
No. Usually it was the panic of, hey, give me your book real fast.
I remember, so I asked my brother's kid, I was like, so what do you do when they give you a book report? You got to read the book at home? Oh, no, they give us time to read it during the
That's
school.
ridiculous.
So you don't do anything when you get home? Well, I play in video games and this and that. I'm like, fuck you.
Dude, I used to spend,
Honestly, I love that for them.
the only time I really spent
feel
was
like
math. But
school shouldn't take up that. That would
I
be like
agree.
that would be like going home from work and still having
working.
all this work stuff
I
to do.
get it.
A lot of people do that.
I know, and I hate that for them.
I hate that for them too.
I hate that for them. And in some careers, I get that that's part of it. Like with like lawyers or
Touche.
doctors, or whatever. There are things that are going to come up.
I would hope a
in your
doctor
off
wouldn't go home and be
hours.
like, fuck it, I'm done.
But that's what I mean. Like in your,
I
off
don't need
hours.
to learn about that
But
heart
also, a lot of
palpitation the
those-
guy had today.
A lot of those careers, finance, lawyers, doctors, a lot of them are making good money though. Teachers have to go home and do all of that extra work, and they're making
yeah.
pennies on the dollar in comparison to some of these.
They
other
do have
fields.
summers off.
I agree.
And I don't even.
But they do need more money.
I don't even want one child in my house. They have to have like 30 kids in their class. Are you kidding?
Well,
No
you
way.
definitely love kids as a
No
teacher.
way, though.
Let me tell you what
I
about you.
couldn't. I couldn't.
Becoming a teacher.
But even then, the amount of like the different personalities in that amount of children.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't
Good
imagine
Lord.
dealing with me as a child.
Imagine 5 of you.
Yeah.
Child.
And then
Speaking
me
of-
talking to Tara or talking to Vicky, always getting in trouble, demerits.
Right.
Oh, I was always cleaning lunchroom chairs. It was the fucking worst.
So when I got in trouble at my school, I had to stay in at recess and write out the Bible. So parts of it. So they would say, all right, you got to go from, page 135
How did they never make
to
us do that?
145.
We went to Catholic school.
Dude, let me tell you, I read the Bible because I wrote it at least 4 fucking times,
Yeah.
front to back. That's how many times, Mom and Dad, I was in trouble.
We never had to write it, but we were taught. I mean, obviously, it
But
was in
also-
our class curriculum.
So if you were bad enough, they would send you away from like the class and send you into like the fucking janitor's closet to sit and write as well.
like never-ending story style. Or like,
Yeah.
That's wild.
Oh yeah.
What do
I
they call
was-
that thing? The
Gulag.
close. It's from Matilda. What is it called? The
Oh,
pokey?
yeah.
oh,
yeah,
because it did.
It did.
That's-
Yeah, you could get
listen,
impaled in there. What if
that's-
one was too close?
Yep.
That's not. Yeah, that's
where
not
were we?
safe.
IMDb lowest score,
lowest.
low review.
Lowest.
This is from Pissed Off.
Oh shit!
PIST-off. This is August 1999.
That's their name.
Pissed Off.
So they're just
is
all.
gonna be
That's
one
not.
heck of a review.
That's not even.
Sucked.
The name, that's what I'm saying. That's not even the name of the review. That's their name.
That's their
name
username
So they're
on
just
IMDb.
always.
Yep.
Kevin
Pissed
McCallister.
off.
McCallister. I'm done here.
This has got to be one of the worst pieces of crap ever put on film. Okay, the first one wasn't bad, but the violence in this goes to Bugs Bunny G-rated level of stupidity.
No.
The robbers take a little too much from this kid. Ever heard of a gun? And come on now, a 12-year-old kid dressed in expensive yuppie clothes walking around Central Park at
First of all,
night and
he's
not
10.
being mugged? I don't think so.
He's 10, and what yuppie clothes was he wearing?
Yeah, his red sweater and jacket with a backpack.
Fuck, did this
Wasn't
person
that
watch the
backpack
same
kid?
movie?
He was too pissed
Were
off
they
to
watching
read-
Richie Rich and did they get confused?
Maybe.
I don't understand.
Then there's the other lame, happy, odd strangers
trash shoot,
side
not a-
plot. This is just bad. 1 out of 10.
I don't think they watched it.
At least if you're gonna give a
I
bad
think
review,
Chat
watch the
GB.
movie.
it needs to be thoughtful.
I think Chat.
GPT did not do
GPT
this in
wrote that.
1999. Unless the AI fucking went back
Fine.
in time. Like,
Fine.
I mean, maybe.
But I think
Maybe.
they don't know what they were
I've seen
watching.
Terminator.
I think maybe they confused a couple different movies. He is not wearing yuppie clothes ever at any point in this movie.
Sure.
At any point in
I
this
don't
movie.
disagree with you.
I agree.
No one actually is, except for Trump, maybe.
I got the best threads you've ever seen.
But
we
no
get
one
them
else
from
is really
Mexico.
wearing yuppie clothes.
Next year, it's going to be 25% more.
Or maybe the woman that slaps what's his face in the street because his hanging got stuck to her purse. But otherwise,
Ew, he did it. Great part.
I said that joke wrong. Getting them from China. Sorry. Who is our favorite character in Home Alone 2?
the pigeon lady,
The pigeon lady.
Wow.
Okay. Why?
pigeon lady, because
She's a badass motherfucker.
I mean, well, yes, but
Yes.
also like I felt like
I could have that life.
no, I don't like birds.
I'm not saying birds, just
stress
being,
me out,
I don't
but-
like people. So, like, just doing my own thing in
I
Central Park,
just
being away
felt
from
like
people.
she was one of the
Sounds
more
like a dream.
genuine people in the movie, and I felt like runner up though would be Duncan.
Duncan.
Was that his name?
That's his name.
Mr. That would be it would be them too.
Duncan.
Would be my favorite character.
Oh my
'cause I
God, it's
feel
crazy. Her real husband died in real life too.
Oh, no.
Because didn't she say her husband passed away and then she...
Yeah.
Her husband in real life passed away from alcohol. He fell downstairs when he was intoxicated.
Have you ever seen the
her ex-husband.
Well,
have you ever seen the
yeah,
documentary
they're exes now.
No, her ex-husband.
The Staircase?
Oh no, they reconciled. I didn't read that part. They divorced and then they reconciled before
And then he
died.
fell down the stairs.
Oh, because of his alcoholism.
Oh, right. He went.
Dude.
Damn, only 1 year? You got back together and shit. Sorry.
2 years.
Anyways, there's a documentary called The Staircase. If anybody's never seen it,
Yes, yeah.
Oh my God, watch it. It's on Hulu.
That's listen.
Bro. Wild.
Fuck, I'm the worst. This is why I don't want to be here.
They made a fucking television
Not
series
here.
about it too, but it was so crazy.
Because that's got what's her face?
Yeah.
Colette.
Tony Collette.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's the
she's
guy
in that.
right there. Watch The Staircase.
A
Oh, it's on Netflix.
crime novelist accused of killing his wife after
Yeah.
she's found dead at the bottom of a staircase.
But she just
Yeah.
fucking fell down the stairs.
And he's accused.
But it's wilder because like they kind of. I'm not to bring
They
or,
pin it on him and...
well, no spoilers, but they're like it was,
La, la, la,
it was
la,
a
la, la,
bird.
la, la, la.
They're thinking an owl flew in and attacked her, and then she fell down the stairs as she was like
Fighting the owl.
Yeah, but then there's other shit that makes it even incredibly like
All right, don't tell me
fucking.
There,
Oh,
yeah,
dude.
there's so many things
gotta
where
watch it.
it literally is like, wait,
You seen it?
like you'll feel, but like you'll feel one way and then you'll be like, okay.
Dude, it's wild.
I like when a movie does that, though, when you think you're this way and then you're not.
Well, especially when it's a true story.
Yeah,
like
it's all
these are
true.
real elements. Like
Yeah.
these are real things.
So
that
don't
happen.
watch the miniseries. Watch the documentary.
And then you
Yeah,
can
yeah.
watch. the
And then
miniseries
if you want to,
but-
yeah.
Wait, so the documentary.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
actual real shit that happened.
Oh, it's not a movie. It's a...
Well, they made
No,
it into a
this is-
series.
because this was a real story. This was real that happened. So they did the documentary and
non-fiction.
but
Right.
they
Nonfiction.
did do a series
Always fucked
based
me
on
up
it
as a kid.
It did,
well.
bro. I'm like, fiction?
But what's nonfiction?
Yeah.
Wouldn't that mean? Isn't it opposite?
Yeah.
Yeah, the show was only 2 years ago, but like
I
the
almost
feel
went like
like
this.
more
but the show, but look, 92% on Variety.
Oh, dude, yeah, it's wild.
Okay,
Might be
I'm
starting
gonna
The
that.
give it a
show,
look.
like the
I'm gonna
show.
watch.
Yeah.
I know my wife hasn't seen it. I might be starting that again tonight because I want to watch it with her because it's so fucking crazy. Anyways, who's your favorite character?
Oh, you know what? I'm just. Can I do the combo of the?
You can do whatever
of the
you
Wet
want. The Wet Bandits, 'cause it's gonna
The
be mine,
well,
too.
now they're the sticky bandits.
The Sticky Bandits, right? They changed.
Well, and it's just because the casual, like when they're planning everything, and he's at the ice rink, and he's like gloves,
Yep.
scarf,
Yep.
hat. Like it's just my face. Like he's just like, what is happening? Yeah, and then
Dude,
of course
yeah.
all of the injuries.
Yep.
Some of the things I still say to this day, like, wow, what a hole. Like, there's classic one-liners.
Yeah.
Why when it drives me nuts every time I see this scene.
What?
Why when his head was on fire he did a handstand on the toilet
Instead of just
and
kneeling?
dunked his head? Yeah,
'Cause
instead
it's
of just
funnier.
Instead
Yeah.
of just right. Is it?
Let me
laugh.
tell you.
Slapstick. You just don't get it.
Yeah, you just don't. Number one, the fact
I feel like the
that Kevin was
slapstick
like, I'm
part
gonna
was
put,
the fire on his head. Like, why didn't
No,
you just put
that's
your
the
head
whole
in the
setup.
Everything,
Kevin
everything.
literally. So you have to put yourself in the mind of Kevin, which is why I like this.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna put a blowtorch here. I know this faucet doesn't work.
So he's going to
gonna
put
look
his
for
head-
water. Guess what? Kerosene.
like that all I get.
Also
but when
fucked up for a little kid. right.
But so here's the only thing I can come up with is they had to have him do it in that ridiculous way because he wouldn't put his face in the kerosene.
Yeah, you got to put your whole.
Because then he would have gotten even more fucked up.
Yeah.
If you put so they were like, well, we'll just have you do a handstand
We're gonna
on the
handstand you.
toilet because
wearing aftershave?
no human in the world is going to dunk their head that way into a toilet.
Well, that's,
But that's
one
Marv.
of the deaths.
Yeah, that's
one of the
Marv.
deaths that Marv would have had.
Yeah. And the electrocution, the brick falling.
Or Harry. I'm sorry, Harry.
Harry, whatever.
Also, I'm pretty sure Kevin's age is wrong.
Whatever.
And I assume that that's
It's
just
a movie.
I assume that that's probably just a
Let it go. Pissed off. Live a little.
I assume that that's just a writer's like a writing mistake because in the first movie he was 8. Like it says that he was 8, but in this movie, which is a year later, he says that he's 10 in the movie, but he should be 9.
But remember how close you'd be like 9.5? Like, I'm 10.
Right. You want to be older.
I thought I
when
was
you're
turning
younger.
38, and I turned 36. So it's
That's gotta
very
feel
doable.
awesome.
Yeah, it's very doable.
Yeah.
I gained 2.
Yeah. Ooh, look at me.
What
There's a
was
leap
all
year
right,
in
big
there.
dog.
what must
COVID,
your
don't
brain
even
be
remember
going
it.
through that you
Don't
accidentally
dig into that
aged
trauma.
yourself?
Yeah, you don't want to go there.
2 years. 2 years. You're like, I've definitely been on this earth longer.
The
Like, you
first
don't
time
understand.
he hasn't laughed all night. You see that?
What?
He's like, don't go there.
It's okay.
All right, let's get through this quick. Favorite scene? You gotta have
You
one.
should probably go.
Okay. So
Oh, okay, the whole movie.
We're gonna do 2 scenes real
All right,
fast.
yep.
First, the brick. The
Yep.
brick scene is one of my favorites, just
I mean-
because he's like not paying attention, picking his teeth like an idiot, like
Wha-
he's negotiating with a kid.
Yep.
About throwing a camera, and he's picking his teeth. Hits 4 times total. Would have been dead. It's fantastic. This all leads to this is all Marv,
Mm-hmm.
right? One of my favorite things ever is when the paint and the lacquer spills on the floor and he's losing his balance and then he hits the fucking dance. That is my
Yep.
that is my second favorite. And then when he builds the contraption of things to climb up and he's like doing the earthquake test.
Yep.
And he's like, and he's like, and then he gets to the hole and he ends up hanging there anyway.
It's hilarious.
Those are my three favorite scenes.
I'll say one,
No.
and it's from that
She's got
same area. And it's
Area.
and it's when they think that they've tricked him with going up the stairs with the paint cans. And but also one of my more annoying parts is that they just let it swing by and then they go, ow! Like he would have heard it hit you
Right
in
in
the
the
face. Are you kidding?
schnoz.
Like, anyways.
Well, again, they think he's a dumb kid.
Anyways.
They should have learned their lesson.
But it's then when they get hit with the bar. But it's when
Death.
they're laying there and he cuts it and they see it coming and he just goes, no,
Yeah.
coming down.
Dead again.
Yep.
Killed twice in
Oh, yeah.
one thing.
Because you can't do at that point. You're just like, I mean, I can't move. It's gonna hit me.
I want you to say yours. I'm going to say one more, but I want you to say yours first because I don't want to steal it in case it's it.
It's him getting electrocuted.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
That is right up there. It's all the damage they take. And one of my favorite parts of too that they always cut it on cable
TV?
is
Okay.
when the tool chest comes down the stairs. Like, they're
Oh,
like, what's
yeah,
that
yeah,
noise?
yeah.
And it falls in the most. It would never fall
No,
that way,
and
which
it's
is
like,
what
I guess-
makes it even better. Is
Yeah,
that
Then he
yeah.
follows up with I think that was
It's
that noise.
of a tool chest
was-
falling down.
But then, and their
the stairs.
noses, it's literally like cartoon. Their
Yeah.
noses are squished and they both just move.
It's great.
It's hilarious.
It's great.
It's hilarious. It's good. Okay. Any what the fuck moments other than them dying?
I mean, yes, like the whole
the whole movie.
aggression at them that they would have died or been severely injured numerous times. That's the what the fuck moment. The
give you that.
dipping his head as a handstand is a what the fuck. Because why are you doing
Maybe
that?
he was a gymnast.
Because also,
as a
why are you
kid,
doing
and
that?
He was just like,
Also, what were those pigeons doing to them at the end? Because I swear they were
Attacking
just
them?
eating
Yeah.
things. They were just eating.
Well, yeah, because they were covered in the goo.
But he was acting like it was like zombies ripping his insides. He
I
was
mean,
like,
how would you? How would you react?
Would you want 50 birds on you?
well, I don't like birds.
Me
That's
either.
exactly.
They're the rats of the sky.
So no, I wouldn't. But
We'll fix it.
he just like the way he's panicking is like they were like the Beatles and the Mummy.
Yes.
Like they were like he was acting like they were literally pecking through.
well,
his
he
skin.
didn't know until they were in.
I-
Like, oh, these are just beetles. Never mind.
Right. I don't know how I'd react to 50 birds attacking me.
Not
I'd probably
happy.
be like,
I also kind of like when the cops do get there and they're like, you've already missed the presents, and he's just like, oh my god, see, well, he said we needed to do like as though they were already planning on being there for the presents and they were
right.
running late. Like,
That's funny. Speaking of funny, the fun facts of the fucking.
are they funny?
Sometimes.
Lay him on me.
Macaulay Culkin was paid $4.5 million.
Good for him.
Then the biggest ever salary for a child star, as well as 45 times his salary for the first movie. So if that's 4.5, and that's 45 times. It's what did you get? 100,000.
100,000?
Which again,
Is that
you
right?
He had to get the kickback and royalties though.
Where's that
You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, when you're young too, you're just
probably
like
not.
I'm not doing more math.
you're like kids are just trying to. I mean, you're like this kid is new. We're giving him a movie.
This
Like,
is
are you
what
kidding?
gets me. Does the child ever get the child? Does the child get the money?
the parents
Or
do.
Mr. and
So
Mrs.
unfortunately, in a lot of situations, a lot of
Yeah, they-
child actors have been screwed over
Oh, yeah.
by
her
their
name?
parents because their parents are.
What's that
Yeah,
blonde
that's
lady's name?
Catherine
Judy-
O'Hara? Oh, Judy Dench.
No.
Dame Judy Dench. What?
She was on the show with Ariana Grande.
Oh, the iCarly girl.
Yeah.
You talking about that?
McCurdy. Something McCurdy.
Jenny
Jen-
McCurdy.
Yeah.
Good pull.
No idea where that came from.
Jeanette,
Jeanette McCurd.
where she wrote
Yeah, like
that.
her mom
She
used to,
wrote that.
like,
Yeah.
She
hustle
wrote
her
that
shit.
book. I wish my mom or I'm glad my mom died or something. Yeah.
Crazy
But
for
it's
her.
but a lot of child actors went through that. Like you don't. I mean, you don't have your own representation and stuff at that point.
Right,
You're independent.
Remember, I'm sure everybody used to watch, what was it, Ryan Sheckler? Remember that show that he had?
yeah.
And their parents were divorced, or his parents were divorcing literally over his money.
That's
right?
crazy.
Yeah, and that drove the family apart and all this shit because like, you get ruthless, right? Like, it's
Yeah.
like, I want
money.
the nice
Money
house.
makes people into monsters.
Oh, yeah. It's wild.
I
Wild.
watched.
But
did
to
you-
me, I'd be like, let's spend it together.
Did you guys watch that?
Until she's like, no, I want to
I'm
buy
not
the
sa- look,
chateau.
I'm not saying,
and I'm like, I want to buy the fucking monster truck. Like,
I get it. I get. You're their parents, and you're also want to use some of that
Drive
money
the
to make a
monster
better
truck
life for
around
them
the
and stuff
chateau.
too. But like, at least put it. Most of it. They are the reason that money happened. You didn't do
I was gonna
anything
say, he
except
was
bring them
they
to the
were already-
audition.
I mean, you had a skateboard ramp,
yeah, right.
and you already lived in LA.
But
You're doing good.
Yeah.
did you guys watch that?
Life of Ryan, that's what it was. I'll download that next. Flex.
God, the Nickelodeon thing
Legally.
about all the kids. On
Yeah.
Did you watch
Dan
that?
Schneider, yeah.
That documentary.
Oh, yeah.
Creepy.
Made me mad.
Some of those, like you hear some of those parents that were on it talking about, you didn't know what to say. You didn't want to mess it up for them, but you also, and then Drake, when he talked about his stuff, his mom removed his dad
Oh, yeah.
from the situation, and his dad is still kicking himself to this day that he was like, I wasn't
That honestly,
wasn't around, and there was nothing I could have done.
That hit me the hardest during that. Like his dad
When his
talking
dad
about it,
talked,
I was
yeah.
like,
Because his dad didn't even know until more recently.
right, which is wild. And
Even
you
though
gotta-
it was over a decade
well,
ago.
and you got to think their relationship. He probably was like, "What did I do wrong? My kid doesn't want to talk to me, whatever." And then to come to find out that it was literally all of his suspicions are true.
Were true.
And
It's heartbreaking for him.
oh, for sure. Speaking of not being heartbroken, director Chris Columbus recalled that the production spent a lot of money on artificial snow for Central Park, and then New York City had a blizzard.
That's
about right.
hilarious, actually.
Imagine spending like $350,000 to be like,
On
all right,
fake
we got to
snow.
bring the snow in, and all of a sudden, well, I guess we
So
didn't
what do you do at that point?
write it off.
But do you think they started
dump-
already using the snow and then
No,
the
they
snow started
absolutely-
falling? Like, was it both?
We got
Do you know
more.
what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be funny. All of the children who appeared in the toy store scene were allowed to take their favorite toy home as part of their salary. Even though it didn't work and was created specifically for the movie as a prop, Macaulay Culkin was allowed to keep the Talkboy.
Nice. I had a Talkboy.
I
Did you
did
have one?
too. But the crazy thing is, I didn't know it was made specifically
mean it
for
didn't
this
work?
movie. It was a prop in the.
Oh, it was really that wasn't a thing.
No.
They should have given him. So there wasn't a toy that did that?
The movie made the toy, and the toy came out because
That's
of the movie.
fucking cool because I had one.
Oh yeah, it was
Do you
great.
think he ever got a real one?
Just hit okay.
Do you think he ever got a real one?
I mean, he's
another
Macaulay
time.
Culkin. They probably.
I mean, I guess he did get over $4 million.
Remember Yak
I used to
Backs?
I used to go to my room like, my dad's so stupid. But Kobe never finds his tape.
Dude, Yak Backs is try
Is that what you're
explaining
like a pod, right?
Yeah, try explaining that to a kid today. Yeah, you just talk to this thing and then it talk back to you.
Oh, you
but,
mean a voice note?
right, but shittily back to you.
yeah.
And then you can make it higher or lower. That was it. Yeah. That was it. 5 seconds or whatever it was you had. I miss the 90s. I want to buy a Yak
Simple
Back.
time.
Remember Furbies?
Yes, very vividly, because my grandmother was like, "Let's get you all the Furbies," and I'm like, "No, I'm good." Because yeah, or whatever the fucking noise they make.
They're terrifying.
Oh yeah,
Sometimes they would just go off when you go in.
Yep.
You'd be at your friend's house.
their eyes. Something
be-
about their eyes.
You'd go upstairs to find something, and it's dark, and all you hear is play with me.
Right, and you're like,
And I'm like, who said that?
You just it's perfect
I
hand
wish-
size to chuck like a baseball too.
See, no, this actually happened to him at my house when we were children. That's why he's.
So that's trauma.
Yeah.
I just remember him coming back down.
What color was the Furby?
I don't know. I ran.
Good.
I
I think
ran.
it was blue, if I remember correctly.
It's
but
broken. That's what color it is.
I remember him coming back downstairs and telling us about it happening, and to this day, I have even though I was not there,
remember the
I
layout.
can see it happening,
remember
even though I
that.
wasn't there.
You know those Boston Dynamic dog robots?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody made one into a Furby, like put a Furby on top of it, like life size. It's
Oh God, that's got to be terrifying.
oh my god, but it's amazingly like terrifying.
I had one of
How
those
long?
those robot dogs.
It's here. It's now. The future is now.
Oh yeah.
We're fucked.
Oh yeah.
They make them so they don't even
That's
fall
technically
over.
okay. Technically,
You kick it and it's like I'm fine,
Let's just put a turret on top of it.
and they do.
I don't actually like when people say that the future is now, because that literally can't be the future. The definition of future is
Oh, I know.
like,
That's
you
like
can't-
when
that
I say
doesn't
Well,
mean anything.
hold on.
No, it doesn't mean.
When I
gonna
say it,
science you.
It's a joke for me when I say it.
I'm gonna science you guys real quick. Because our brains have to process what our eyes are seeing, we're actually seeing everything in the past. So him making a statement of the future is now is correct because we're actually in the future based on our eyeballs processing our brains.
But if
Vice versa. whatever.
but if you're in the future, it's the present.
But it's not.
But it is, because future means.
So I like to say that when we
For
have
work.
we'll get like a tool at work.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, I've never seen that. I'm like, the future's
future's
now. I always say that shit.
I love it. In Home Alone, Kevin watched a movie called Angels with Filthy Souls. In this movie, he watches that movie's sequel, Angels with Even Filthier Souls. Like the previous movie, it was created and filmed specifically for
For the movie. That is the best
Oh, it's so
fun
good.
fact. I knew that.
I
and it makes
just
me
I
happy.
just
Keep
like
the change,
that's
you
so
filthy
funny.
animal.
You've been smooching everybody.
Dude, it's so
One
good.
of my favorite
Cliff,
lines.
when
So
they say
good.
Cliff and they look over to the security guard and he's like,
Bob with the gimpy leg.
I'll give you the count of 10
his name
to get the hell out of here.
Cliff.
1, 2, 10.
10.
It's so good.
It's so
That
good.
hotel
God
would
damn
have,
it.
if they really did think that was real, that hotel would have had a SWAT team at it. The whole
yeah.
hotel would have been shut down.
Whatever.
Thinking somebody was just in that other room with a Tommy gun.
A Tommy gun.
Well, my Tommy gun don't.
What do you think about when you hear the word
Smell you
Tommy
when
gun?
you got off the elevator.
That movie and then
The
what's-
Mask.
Huh? Oh, you think of the mask?
I just think of the mask.
I think of the
I
mask.
think of what's that movie? Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, okay.
Where there's in the car
Oh
and he's like
my
baby face
God,
Tommy. He's like, I'm
yes.
not baby.
Yeah.
And he's like, not. He's like George, not the cow.
George Babyface Nelson. I hate cows more than coppers.
Yeah.
Good old Dapper Dan.
I
George,
love
not the cattle.
I love that fucking movie.
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
They loved
I'm a Dapper Dan man.
horny toad.
Final decisions on Home Alone 2. What would we give it? Out of 10, is this a must watch, a recommend, or a skip? Josh first, since you picked it.
This might be
Ooh.
one.
Don't get the fuck out of here with it.
This might be one of my highest.
let him
rated,
cook.
This might be one of my highest rated films.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow. We might have something here.
And you know, I wanted to go like I don't know what a 10 could be. I've been trying to picture a 10.
Okay.
Because I think it's unachievable.
Sure.
Right. But this is worthy
Okay.
of a 9.1.
9.1. All right, that's
this-
high.
this
Not as high
covers-
as I thought you were going to go, but
Yeah,
9.1.
Real quick, what's the 0.1 that puts it over the 9? Just out of
The brick
curiosity.
to the face.
It's just it's all of it added. So this movie for me is a steamroll.
Yeah.
Like it's like, oh, okay, we know Kevin. We know he's gonna be left behind, but we don't know to what extent.
Sure, you're right. And it just keeps going.
And then he still does awesome things.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
he lives the dream of I'm gonna get a pizza
Okay.
and a limo.
Yep.
Hey, you know where any toy stores are, my man?
Boom, we're going. We're
And
getting
we're
everything.
going.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I know this great place.
Yep.
The Duncan's Toy Chest.
And it's
I don't
a
know if
good-
the Duncan's.
Whatever, but it's a good
It
store.
was Duncan's
Great
something.
store. And not only that, Duncan's an angel.
He is. He might be Santa Claus.
It covers
toys?
for me. It covers all the bases, and it has a really good message.
I agree.
Like the homeless lady, the pigeon lady, takes him to go see the orchestra.
Yep.
Just like the other one, how he makes
old guy,
connection with
yep.
the old man and that guy,
Literally
and then
same
you see
thing.
him with his family.
Right. And
How
you're
does
like,
that
he's not scary.
Yeah. How does that not?
Same thing. Scary pigeon lady. Not so scary.
We're just men.
It makes me think. Do you remember that movie? Maybe it was a girl. The movie Now and Then
Yes.
with the 4 girls
Yes.
and they get. Well, there was a.
Let me look it up.
There was a creepy guy in that movie too, and they
Sure.
were all very scared of him.
But he wasn't
And then
creepy.
they ended up realizing it, like he was a loner because his kid and his wife had died.
Here's the problem with that message today. That guy that you think is creepy, he's probably fucking
Well, actually, in most cases, it's the guy you.
It's every person.
It's
it's everyone.
It's the one you
nowadays.
don't realize is creepy.
Yeah.
Anywho.
So let me. Oh, sorry, you go because I know it's gonna be low, and then I'll bring it back.
It's gonna be low.
I'm gonna give it a 5.5.
5.5.
By the way, must see.
Must see from Josh.
Sorry, go ahead.
I will give it a
Holiday classic. Put it on.
I spit in your eggnog too.
You milk.
my milk punch.
Your milk
Punch.
punch.
I'll give it.
Spit it.
I'm gonna
I'll
give
show you
it.
a milk
listen,
punch.
Hi. Put it in your stocking stuffer. Stuff it somewhere.
You and pissed off should go have dinner.
Ooh. Okay, sorry. We'll let you talk.
They gave it a 1,
They did.
They did.
so
They were
Yeah,
wrong.
4 more.
Obviously.
You gave it 4.
4.5 more.
4.5. Whoa.
I gave it a 5.5, and I think partly because it is a sequel, and it was kind of the same
Sure.
story as
sure.
the first one.
Okay.
Like,
Yeah, yeah.
yes, there was some different stuff, but I mean,
I get it.
same.
I'm not taking personal offense.
And I
am mother.
But I wouldn't say it's a skip either. I would say that it's somewhere between a recommend and a must watch if you've seen the first one and you haven't seen the second
Okay.
one. I feel like you should still see the second one.
Okay.
This is in my Christmas lineup. You know, like
My
it's-
Christmas
Honestly,
lineup.
the first one's not even in my Christmas lineup.
Really?
Yeah, but that's because, like I said, it's not really my that's not like
I can't believe it.
I
entertaining
can't.
to me.
I mean, it's a Christmas staple. Home Alone is on how many channels around Christmas?
Home Alone
You know
one,
what?
too.
A Christmas Story isn't in my staples either.
The only reason why it's not in mine is because remember, they still do it. They play it for
Remember the
48
Titans.
hours on TBS, and my dad would not change the channel.
Would roll.
We would watch it
Yeah.
all the time. Steve.
I'm gonna give this movie a 7 out of 10. I know it's not as high as you
No,
want,
that's okay.
but
Look.
but it's a 7. I have a higher grading
your
scale than
grades
most
are-
people,
yeah.
so it's hard to get over a 7 for me.
Yeah.
This is 7.
I'm a giver.
Yeah. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to say this is also not a must watch, but a high recommend.
Yeah.
Right? I think Home Alone 1 is a must watch, and
Trash.
what are you doing, right? The first Home Alone is a Christmas staple and a classic at this point. While the sequel does live up to the original in many ways, I find that it loses its footing about halfway through and doesn't fully keep the same spirit alive. I still enjoy the Wet Bandits and Kevin doing his thing, but I see why they left the McCallisters alone in the many sequels that followed.
Well done. Well said.
You know, just trying out here. But yeah, 7 out of 10. 5.5? 9.1.
We're going big here. Swinging.
Yeah, nothing wrong with that.
I'm a
like
simple
it.
man. I'm a simple
I'm
guy.
a simple guy. All you got to do is throw a brick at someone's face and give me some toys.
I'm happy.
I like it.
simple guy.
Next week, it's my pick.
Uh-oh.
We're doing a Christmas movie that I've had on my list for a long time that I've wanted to do that is, to me, I already said Christmas staple with Home Alone. I think this is my Christmas staple movie that I watch every year. It has Nicolas Cage in it. Is that on point for me? Maybe. What is it?
Is this The Family Man?
It's The Family
Oh
Man.
my God, I love The Family Man.
The Family Man is one of my favorite, not Christmas
It's one of my
movies.
dad's favorites.
It's one of my favorite movies of all
yeah,
time.
my dad has to watch it every year.
Because it is so good and has a great message. Don Cheadle, come on, Don Cheadle's in it. Tia Leone.
Tia Leone. I love her in this movie.
Also, who else?
Jeremy Piven.
Jeremy Piven. I was waiting for him to get to it.
Don
but Jeremy Piven.
Cheadle.
Jake Malkovich.
Jacob Malkovich.
Oh, I love
Malkovich.
Jeremy Piven. Okay.
Yeah, dude. This movie's great.
I'm going to go on a ledge and say I've never seen this.
Good.
Or if I've seen it, I've never watched it.
Sure.
If that makes sense.
Okay. It's definitely a story movie, if you will.
What's wrong?
She doesn't want you to
scores are up
see.
there.
Yeah, to see what.
Oh.
He ain't gonna remember. I ain't gonna remember.
I didn't want to see. I didn't
She's
want
the
to
only
see
one who
them.
sees a number and goes seared in the brain.
First off, he's like, number one, he didn't even see them. And if he did,
Yep.
like, it's
I
not
wasn't
real.
worried about that. I was worried about myself seeing
Oh, yeah,
them.
this is-
Because you scrolled down enough where all I saw was rotten, and I was like,
Nope.
No.
Again, no shame. I know how your brain works because it works just like mine. I'll read that fucking 96 and go, cool. Gone.
Then
my
store
brain,
that.
Never
my
again.
brain doesn't work.
You know how hard it is for me to remember the scores we do here?
Oh, yeah.
I actually have a fucking this right here, and I just remembered I need to write them down so I can remember them to make them.
I feel
Josh
like-
gave it a 9.1,
feel
Terry gave it 5.5, and I gave it a 7.
I feel like all my scores are probably so high in comparison because, like I said, I'm just so simple.
There's nothing wrong with being simple.
And even it's crazy. Even a movie that would be picked that you think I wouldn't like, I somehow find a way to enjoy it.
Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that.
what was
Also, you know what's nothing wrong with doing? going to our Facebook page or Instagram page, Twitter, whatever.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Giving us a
nothing wrong with
like,
that.
maybe telling us what movies you want us to review. Maybe we'll do that and give us a comment on our
Maybe we'll listen,
YouTube.
we might not,
maybe
but it's
subscribe, whatever. It's fine. Doesn't matter. But, find us on that at The Decision Reel and look for us on the next one. We'll see you guys then. Later.
Bye.